my dream gig TV show is somebody to follow me across the country, and I can walk from Maine to California and like interview people as I walk from Maine to California. Like that's my fucking dream.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I walk 25 miles a day during the summer anyway. So it wouldn't even be a big deal for me to do it. It would just be me doing what I normally do, but leaving where I live. But even then, if the earth is flat, it doesn't fucking matter at all.
It makes it easier, really. True. You're not gonna. It's not as much work on your legs.
I wish flat Earth meant there were no hills. Look out! All right, here's Kyrie.
You said you're joking, and then you weren't joking. So which is it? Which?
Okay.
Good start.
You know what it was. You fucking know. When he said he was joking, it was to get people to stop bugging him online. I've apologized before. You know, I've had to apologize. The only real way to fucking do it is to just be like, you know, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it.
It's easy.
Yeah. Don't say you're joking, though. Like, I think I was joking is bad.
That's hard.
Yeah. You said you were joking, and then you said you're serious. Why didn't he just stick with joking and then sit at home and be like, the earth is so flat? He's in public.
Well, I mean, hopefully after this, I'm done answering.
Good. Let's clear it up for good. You never have to be asked again.
For good. People are going to ask me regardless, but
I think this is really funny because now he's in the same situation now that he was in 2018 when this happened.
I mean, I'm just searching his name and the phrase flat earth on Twitter, and it's just constantly people are talking to this guy about being there's no living. He actually probably, instead of apologizing, he should have like tripled down on it and could have been like, he could have gotten like speaking gigs or something. He could have written a book. Oh yeah.
One of my dreams in this whole world is like I'm telling you all my hopes and dreams, I guess. One of my ideas.
That's the power of the apology, really. It opens you up. And
one of me and Brett's ideas very early on was to make a website for Street Fight that is a libertarian website where we just say that we're libertarians, and it's got all this info. We would record a couple, like 2 or 3 fake libertarian podcasts, so that if you click the link, it would play a libertarian podcast so that we could get hired to do libertarian conferences and then goof on them on stage. But very lazy when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I think it would be so fun to convince people you're a libertarian and then do conferences and fucking.
Yeah, or even just like upload the same episodes, but with just like different title, different SEO, and send it into libertarian podcast world and see, maybe they'd be into it. Maybe you could just trick them that way.
Money like water, I'm drinking up all of my wine. People ask I don't care about the future. Said I won't, but I don't think I got the time. And I can't or won't, I'm not gonna do it anyhow. And there's nothing you can say, nothing you can say to make me now. And I can't or won't, I'm not gonna do it anyhow. Dark circles and I'm not getting any sleep. This has got it all across my mind. People ask her, don't you care about the future? Said I will, but I don't think I got the time. And I can't or won't, I'm not gonna do it anyhow. And there's nothing you can say, nothing you can say to me now. And I can't or won't, and I'm gonna do it anyhow. The time with your daughter, she's kind of a good friend of mine. She's born to love her like water. I'm feeding her all of my wine. And will you, I'm gonna do it anyhow. And there's nothing you can do, nothing you can do to stop me now. And will you, I'm gonna do it anyhow.
Patriot Takes is like a really stupid, like it's like a making fun of liberals, but like, or making fun of conservatives, but in like a really crummy, not funny way.
Like the libs of TikTok guy, right? Like it's
Yeah. No, it is it is there. It's like the Krasensteins if they were doing like The Onion.
I was about to say it seems like something run by the Kras. Well, it says they're partnered with Midas Touch, and I recognize that name. I feel like that's like Krasenstein adjacent, maybe. But that's
It
one of
is.
those like what is it? Occupy Democrats, which is run
Yes.
by like a different set of identical twins from Florida, apparently.
No,
Which is
they got in trouble last week. Occupy
really?
Democrats did.
I didn't. What did they do?
They didn't apologize
Oh, okay.
because they're so like they don't care. But they what they did was they outed somebody's daughter, a Republican politician's daughter, and or that they had been outed, and they started like hitting her with shots for like being like gay and having conservative parents.
Right.
So people were like, that's inappropriate. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah. The Krasensteins are apparently in like a big like Bitcoin scam thing right now, or some sort of NFT thing, which is like the least surprising thing ever. But it's like a website called like BitClout. And
I've heard of it.
that's their big thing right now. Yeah. I need to kind of delve a bit deeper into it because they really fell off the map the past like 2 or 3. Did they get banned from Twitter? Am I
Yes.
missing things? They did. Okay.
Yeah, they got caught making extra accounts.
Right, because they were like pretending they were like posting as their wives or something, which is so good.
They were also,
guys.
I think they were also like responding to themselves, you know, where
Hey, Street Fighters, it's time to take the calls. It's Sunday night, it's time for a street fight, and we are here for you to share what's happening on your neck of the woods. Union victories, horrible dare officers you had when you were a kid, anything that's relevant to Street Fight. We want to hear from you, the listener. And we do this every single Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That number to dial is 614-655-3887. You can find Street Fight Radio on WCRS LP FM here in Columbus, Ohio, 92.7 or 98.3. If you're inside the 270 Outer Belt, that's where you can get all that wonderful community-made content here from Columbus, Ohio. For the rest of you, you're listening on a podcast. You're watching live on twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. And we appreciate everyone that shows up as we continue to spread this mess across the U.S. and to reach new heights and make things better than they were before. Leave the campsite better than they were before. That's the goal of every Street Fighter. Do your bit that you can because it's rough out there right now. And if you got that Hype Beast ripoff shirt, the Clown Hound edition, that is heading to your homes this week. We're packing them up and folding right now, and they will be there soon. If you want that Big Bill Haywood, I did not get a chance to shut it down and make the order or anything, so you can still jump in, store.streetfightradio.com. And of course, anybody on Patreon gets access to a 20% off merch for all the stickers, patches, pins, and t-shirts at store.streetfightradio.com.
I'm here.
Are you
I'm
here?
here.
Are you sure?
We're back in the room, baby. Feels good. It's better than a Meyer parking lot.
Yeah, way
Decided.
different.
I do not like doing podcasting in a parking lot at a big box store. I've decided.
Somebody said they don't want us to always be like this, but they said a show that we're really struggling to get through seems to be like a gracious gift. It's some of the best shows that we do.
It was crazy. I mean,
Persevering.
We just had luckily had a great piece of content to go over, really.
Yeah.
And you know, when I'm miserable, I'm at my best when I'm at my most miserable.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was tough. I do have to. I guess I'll just come in here right away with the fucking update. Here's the thing. I did not give the Airbnb a bad review.
No!
I also did not ask for a refund.
That's a landlord. You were nice to a landlord, dude.
Different.
They're a
I
landlord.
did figure that. I did feel that. I knew that would come up, obviously. And I did some thinking. I thought long and hard.
Mental gymnastics.
I thought long and hard about why I didn't do this. And let me say this. They weren't necessarily the same as the other bad Airbnb people. I'm going to tell you why. Because they had this land and this camper, and they weren't using it. So they were like, let's rent it out. Let motherfuckers stay in it. You know, they come up here to Alpena, and they probably don't even rent it out very often. I did learn a new lesson, okay? One, I think I'm done with Airbnbs. Maybe.
Definitely.
But I'm definitely done with any Airbnb with less than 6 with less than 20 reviews. A 6 with less than 20 reviews. I want 20 reviews.
Okay.
And I want them to still be good. Okay. I can't give these people a bad review. They were too nice. They thanked me for leaving it in such good condition. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to actually do a review or not do a review. That's the most I can do is not do a review. You know, I want that money back more than anything in the world. I just can't do it. I just fucking can't do it. I'll feel too bad. The guy was
I don't think it comes
nice
out of their
to me.
check. I think that's like an Airbnb guarantee. They probably just mark it against his record.
But they would say, "Hey, these guys, he gave you a bad review," and then they would know
That
in
fella
their
right
heart,
there is responsible.
Yeah, it was him. It was the guy. Why didn't he say it to my face, sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I guess he wasn't. He didn't want to say it to my face.
No, because that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is paperwork and filing grievances. The personal interactions are useless. It's a matter of you promised something you didn't provide. I deserve a refund on this.
I do technically probably deserve some money back
for the Wi-Fi thing. The water smelling is just like, what are you gonna fucking do, man? He did.
You can't be judgy. You sound really judgy.
Well, and
hey, your bath water smells like horse shit.
He did explain. He was like, so that night when I did the podcast, I got back to the place and something was beeping intermittently.
Okay.
Every minute or two, maybe 3 minutes, a thing would beep. And I was like, what in the world is that beep? And I'm looking all over the place. I'm pulling I'm doing the real Brian thing where you pull the smoke detector and then just take the battery out of it and hope the beeping stops, right? Nope. Still beeping. Checked everything. Still beeping. So I called the guy and said, something's beeping in this fucking thing. Won't stop. So he came over and talked at us for like a half hour.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't beep anymore. So it was just, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Part of me is like, man, maybe I should, just because like I'm fucking somebody else over that shows up and needs Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that my simple explanation is saying the truth is something that I will never apologize for. I will never say that you promised something you didn't deliver. I'll never apologize for saying how fucked up it was to stay at your place. You're allowed to, they're like abusing you. They're like gaslighting you.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
you're allowed to say, I hated this fucking experience.
That's true. Well, there couldn't have been a hidden
and they didn't
camera.
deliver. I expected cable. It was run to a dummy box that was just 4, 6, and 10.
Yes, it was. But a broadcast. It was antenna.
Right, 4, 6, 10.
People don't know what 4, 6, and 10 is.
It's different for them.
That's Ohio.
It is weird. When I moved to Texas, people are like they were talking about 7s and shit.
Yeah,
21s. You're like, what the fuck?
Well, the guy did tell us like that what his wife really wanted to do was build 3 cabins right in their driveway. She wanted cabins. He said, no, that'll cost $200,000. Where I was like, damn, 3 cabins is $200,000
for sure.
That's it. It seems like 3 cabins would cost a lot more than, but they were probably buying like those deer blinds, the hunting things or something. I'm not really sure.
I mean, they're usually concrete floor. They're very limited. It's just concrete floor with the walls up and bunk bed, the cheapest bunk beds you can find.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do Airbnb very much anymore.
I don't either. I use an app.
I'm a hotel freak.
I'm a hopper guy.
Yeah, I'm looking in hotels. I've been looking at hotels for Chicago, like for the past couple weeks.
God, dog, there is a Radisson in Louisville, Kentucky. It's actually in Indiana. It's just over the river. It is like fine luxury from like 1999, and it's the best stay I've ever had. It was $55. It's the best hotel deal in the Midwest for me.
Yeah, I'm looking everywhere. And you know what I really wish is that you could pay for a hotel in 2 payments. That's where Airbnb fucking beats the hotels.
You need a Klarna for that?
Just not even a Klarna necessarily. Just can I pay the first half now and half later?
That's called Klarna.
Klarna's like 5 payments.
Though. 4.
Yeah, I just want one. I want to throw you, because I want to stay in a nice hotel, so I want to throw you $500 now and $500 later. You know? We're going to stay in a fucking Beauty.
Yeah.
You know, a W hotel or something like that.
Sure.
You know, something fucking worthy of me. You know, because there's a lot I need when it comes to a hotel.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
To keep you happy.
Yes. And so, like, I've been looking at that, and I'm not really finding anything. And I'm thinking if I don't find a hotel in Chicago before they announce All Out's going to be in Chicago, I might be fucked, because once they announce it, people will go looking for hotels, you know? So yeah. I'm really panicking in that department, but there just isn't any way to find a decently priced hotel anywhere in a major city. That's just the way it is.
It's not cheap.
Yeah. But I did, my wife, I impressed her.
Ooh,
you know how
hard to do. That's extremely hard to do.
Yeah, I did. I really impressed her. We got to see the Aurora Borealis, which I felt looked like clouds. But you know what, man? If you like clouds...
You sound like the There's Nothing When You Die guy from the Super 8 motel that I was at.
I am that.
Yeah,
I am that. That's how I feel
that.
about
don't
space.
Be that. That was a precautionary tale of don't do that. That's why I told that story.
Well, that's what I kept telling her. I kept telling her, like, It's there. That's it.
Wow.
That's the Aurora Borealis.
Would you look at that?
It's what I thought it always looked like. You know,
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
not what I thought. I thought it was going to be purple or green. That was like
What
what I
was
was
it?
really looking at. It was the same color as it was like gray. It just looked like a
Some
cloud
gray shit, yeah.
that was shiny, like that. That was like kind of.
Did it look weirder than usual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that's enough.
It looked like a cloud to me, but it was beautiful. Like it's beautiful. It's so beautiful up there, up north. You know, you go way up fucking north in the middle of summer, and the weather's like beautiful. It's like good weather. You know,
Right.
It was like 78 degrees. I did go to the worst place I've ever. Mackinac Island is the first time I was in a tourist area.
Worst you ever had?
Well, it was the first time I've been in a tourist area in a very long time. Probably since 2004 or 5 when I went to like Hilton Head or something. I went and did that. But this place was just like that. All they had there was funny T-shirts, which, by the way, not funny. The T-shirts weren't actually.
They weren't funny?
I never think those
Really?
T-shirts are funny. Yeah.
That's hard to
I don't
believe.
think an I Heart Sluts T-shirt is hilarious or anything like that.
No, it's a proud statement of solidarity with sluts.
Or I
you
Heart.
work with a slut every day.
I love I Heart Black Guys and I Heart White Guys. Like, what's that about?
Oh yeah.
That's a strange fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I had a weird moment one time at a concert. I went to go see Herbie Hancock, and I was having a really good time, and this dude behind me like dapped me up. He like reached out to like slap hands and everything, and he was like, "Hey man, I love you. I love your vibe, man. You were going off. That was so cool and everything." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, thanks, bro. Appreciate it." And as I'm like turning away from him, I notice he's wearing like a trucker hat that just says "I love black pussy," and I was like, "No, fuck, I know. I didn't want to be with that guy. I don't want to be on someone's Snapchat hugging that guy."
Exactly. It is like the T-shirts were just
Over the top.
yeah. I was like,
I love that though. I mean, that's regular life.
yeah. They were just
I
like.
mean, it's a lot of rednecks up there.
I did notice though that like no Joe Biden T-shirts, only anti-Joe Biden T-shirts.
That makes sense.
Tons of Trump shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I saw. Yeah, I haven't seen any. I don't know why.
The amount of Let's Go Brandon up there was just outrageous. People really love Let's Go Brandon in Alpena, Michigan.
Yeah, I actually, my doctor put me on the 150 Wellbutrins, and then he was like, "Go ahead and give it a double dose." He's like, "If you want to try it out," and I had like a complete realization of like where we're heading with 2024 and everything. Like, there's no coming back. Like I have the forethought now to be 2 years ahead of this, but with like that Cremo guy and with like Patriot Front and all those people, once they have a sympathetic president, man, it's fucking over with.
Who's Cremo?
That dude that shot up the July 4th thing.
Oh, Cremo. I didn't know what his politics were, you know? Which I guess it doesn't even really matter what his politics. He shot a bunch of people.
It does matter because the point is that we've said over and over again, because they think we're trying to feminize men. But when you try to make them super patriarchal and super macho, they end up having to murder people. Like that's the only way to be the most macho is to take a life, right? Like
Yeah.
like that's the pinnacle, and that's why the military is placed on a higher pedestal, because these people are taking a life, the worst, most baddest thing that nobody should ever do, but they gotta do it because they're troops for America. You know?
God, that's funny. We had the conversation in the car about how like because I was talking about the show Yellowstone, which I want to watch.
I know I've heard it from so many
Exactly.
con people I know.
Feels like I need to see
that's their
it.
shit right
there
now.
There were motherfucking shirts in Mackinac Island with quotes from
For
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, with pictures of like Kevin Costner on them being like, you know, don't fuck my horse. I don't know what what they say in it. You know what I mean? But like one of them said, "I'm the tornado and you're the trailer park." You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we were talking about it while we were driving. I was just like, you know, it's the same reason I had to watch Sons of Anarchy is because I need to know what these people are into. I want to know. I'm genuinely curious. And what I have figured out they like is like they love people who do the most heinous evil things, but for the right reasons. Like they admire like Jax from Sons of Anarchy, who killed like 9 innocent people in the last season, but it was like he had to, man.
Yeah.
There was all kinds
Righteous
of stuff.
justice,
Yeah.
man. That's part of white supremacy is righteous justice.
But even in the end, like these were people that did it really is just like they like people who do the nastiest possible thing, but it's justified in the world of that thing. And they like all of their entertainment is that's what that is. It's the nastiest possible thing. And people are just like, he had to do it. Unfortunately, there was no other options there other than killing people.
Yeah, and this is why that's my slogan, hardcore in 2024, is because you're going to have to practice. Like right now I'm practicing like throwing people over my back and carrying them for a long time. Like that's the kind of skills I'm focusing on. Because once they have a sympathetic president, it's just going to get worse.
And that's what conservatism takes a lot of like, I believe the nastiest thing in the world because that's the way it has to be.
Right.
They have to be able to do that to justify a lot of their politics where it's like, I'm against welfare. And you're like, well, what about like kids that can't eat? And they're like, well, their parents need to get their ass in gear if they want their kids to eat. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I had that realization that like I have 2 years to plan, and I'm lucky that I figured it out 2 years from now. And I came to because, you know, I got in that big argument with you about like Trump not being a Nazi and all that stuff. But like this second time around, like he's going to put me in a situation where I'm going to be part of like this undercover resistance shit, you know? I mean, that's the future that the 2024 has to offer, because right now there is nothing else. It's just getting worse.
I think that
they went to go gay bash. Patriot Front went to go fucking disrupt a whole pride event, you know?
Yeah.
And that's okay with Ron DeSantis, under Ron DeSantis as a president.
But that's what I was about to say. I actually don't think Trump is going to be.
It doesn't matter, any of them.
Well, I'm saying it's going to be worse under somebody else because they will think it's being done politely.
Yeah.
Like George W. Bush got away with so much more than Donald Trump ever did. It's almost like, I mean, if we got to have a Republican, you'd probably, for our purposes, would rather have Trump than any of these guys, because liberals just, I mean, they're fucking out there saying like, rest in peace, Shinzo Abe. That guy was nasty. That guy was a nasty conservative guy.
I'm saying cut ties with them and really work on your Krav Maga and like running, because like, because street fighters should be the type of people, you're going to have cousins, you're going to have nieces, you're going to have nephews, you're going to have people that need abortions, and they're going to have to come to people like us. And like, we're going to have to know the other folks to tie people in to do stuff like that. And there's going to be underground queer parties. And I don't know. That just feels like they have so much power and they're wielding it. And they're so wound up because Joe Biden and the Democrats have done such a horrible job that everything is swinging in their favor. There's just no reason that I hate, you know, this shit right now. It's
I do too.
Incredibly hard. They keep all the business cuts. They keep all of the 1% business cuts. They don't revoke any of those, but they get rid of the child care credits and they get rid of student loan deferment. That's what they get rid of. And it's just like, people hate this fucking shit. People hate this shit.
I know. Right before the fucking election. It's so funny. And like,
people are going to let the horses loose on this, and those fucking assholes, we're going to be like in a very strenuous situation. I don't see us coming out of it. And I don't know. Like, I've been prepping my whole life for it. I went to Goth Night last night, actually, and I was really happy to be there because it's like a place where everybody's represented, and it's going to be a community that we're going to have to rely on more as like the religious right gets more power over things and starts to exert it. Like, we're going to be having to fight back against this, going to jail and shit.
Maybe, yeah. I'll say this. I don't see any way that things actually get better in a way that I would want them to be.
But I'm comfortable because I don't know. Like I grew up reading like Transmetropolitan and The Invisibles and like so much dystopian fiction. But like I'm with all of the troublemakers, and it's exactly where I wanted to be. Like this is what I was aiming for my whole life, was just to be like hanging out with all of the disruptors, and that's where the world is pushing things, you know. And unfortunately, the reaction to Roe versus Wade, I don't know why house moms weren't lighting their fucking baby strollers on fire, you know, over the overturning of that. Like that thing got turned out without a whimper. There's not even a building got burnt down.
It just doesn't feel like there's anything you can do about anything. It's a very hopeless time right now. Whenever there's a Democrat in office, like anything bad that happens is the fault of the other people. And it looks sort of bad. Like I feel like it like to them, they don't want to complain because it looks bad for the guy that's in office, that they want to be in office in 2024. And you know, I'm already seeing all the stuff kick up. You know who I saw yesterday? I don't know if you know this, but you know, I'm online. I see Scotty's back. Scotty Burberry's
No
back.
way.
Yeah, he's
For
back.
real.
The name Scotty Burberry. He's using it, and like
He got it back?
yeah, there was a woman named Broti Gupta on Twitter.
Oh, I love her. She listens to the show.
So she posted something about. She writes for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
She posted something about Kamala Harris sounding like she is receiving messages from a earpiece that's been water damaged, is
Right.
what she said, and which she does. I'll say this: Kamala Harris is the one thing that makes me laugh in post-Trump America, who used to make me laugh. Trump used to make me laugh. Kamala's now,
great.
When
She's
they're
good.
like, "Hey, man, you know,
She's
here's
Veep-
Kamala
it's Veep,
answering a
the
question."
TV show.
Here's Kamala answering a question. I'll laugh every time.
Yeah.
It kills me.
The sincerity of the moment is required for who we are, and we're here right now in that moment of sincerity.
Yeah,
It's like, yes, keep going.
Say
keep
it.
flowing on them.
Say sincerity again.
Yeah.
Keep saying it. She was saying something last week. I thought it was settled. Did you see the settled one?
No.
They were like, do you think the Democrats should have codified Roe in the 50 years they had a chance? And she said, well, you know, certain things we thought were settled were unsettled.
Right. There's known knowns and then there's unknown knowns.
Yeah, and so the K-Hive people, which I'm calling Chive now because it's kind of the same.
Chive?
Yeah, keep calm and Chive on, K-Hive on. They're the K-Hive people.
It's the same chive. They're chivers, yeah.
Yeah, they found her and were furious at her and trying to get her fired from The Simpsons.
Really?
For saying that.
No way.
For saying that. So
And she fucked it for making a funny joke about how she's fucking us up.
about the vice president.
It's getting these clips are getting spread around all the time.
And I'm like, wow, that's like really, I can't believe people are actually mad about it. I click on the guy's profile, and of course, the guy that's trying to get her fired is retweeting everybody, calling them losers and shit like that. And I'm like, wow, this is weird. I haven't seen any tweeting like this in many years. And then I clicked, and two of the retweets were Scotty Burberry.
Whoa.
And I was like, bro, Scotty Burberry's back.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's officially primary season, baby.
I know.
Scotty's back. Let's get Gry King back. Let's get them all back. It's primary time, baby.
Yeah.
This is when Twitter fucking shines, man.
Linsberty, we need your help.
Twitter shines when Burberry's back.
Oh, I know.
He was
This
back
is
in
great. He's so
2016.
good.
And it
You
just,
can make so many moves off of that dude.
he's so mad. He's the meanest, worst, nastiest person in the world. And he's a Democrat. And it's just, yeah, they were tagging Disney to try to get her in trouble because she said that. Just that.
Yeah.
That's not even nothing. She's a Democrat. She's the fucking vice president. You're not. Listen, let me explain. I don't know why I'm doing this with Scotty especially. It's like, those are the most privileged people. You can fucking tell me I have white privilege and all that stuff, but I ain't the fucking vice president. She has more power and privilege than I will ever see in my entire fucking life. If you're the president, you have the most privilege on the whole planet.
Sure.
The vice president, second most privilege on the entire planet. So it's just crazy. They're tagging Disney Plus to try to get this person fired who is just joking around. You know,
it's actually, it's not even make them, it actually gives her a way out. It's saying that she's like, there's a technical difficulty. I saw the best tweet I saw, and I can't find the person. I wish I could. They said, "I'm sorry, but I had to retire from my position today. I was the guy that would spin Kamala Harris around in a chair 25 times before she did an interview." Everybody, I can't wait to see who fills the position next.
People were saying also that she just seems like, I posted a thing about her and everybody's like, seems like she's on Percocet.
She's got secondhand senility from Joe Biden. She's got Sleepy Joe syndrome.
Just everybody's making fun of her, and it does have to probably piss off the people that were like really into her, where they were like, she might get to be the fucking president. It's like, I don't know about that. She is.
She missed the. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, I think that Hillary Clinton's going to make a big run for it.
That'll be great too. I mean, we need her back, we need them all back. Let's get them all,
the whole gang,
back, baby. Let's
the
get
boys
the gang
are
back
in town.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton had a pro Shinzo Abe tweet too today, and he was a bad guy.
He was horrible.
He was really bad.
It was awesome what happened to him.
Yeah. What happened to him was
that's the
really
blueprint.
Cool.
That dude gave us the blueprint. He's like, you don't even have to have legal guns. You can just take some fucking pipes and get rid of the problem.
Right. And so she's like, oh man, we really, I'm feeling like really, good for him. I wish he was still around and stuff like that. It's like, could Americans like one time understand that we're not the only bad people in the world?
Yeah.
That, like, the world is just run by all bad fucking people. But yeah, I think Hillary Clinton is gonna be the nominee.
You do?
I do. I think she will be the nominee again. I don't think there's any way to beat her. I do not. I cannot.
Everybody hates her. I mean, everybody can agree it. Not. Her husband is a piece of garbage. I don't know, like he's just such a huge stain, and that's not fair to hold her accountable. But she should have not be with the dude.
Yeah, I think like, I guess I would have to, like I said, I think that like
first like raper in chief. That would be like
not the first. There's plenty. Of those.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Tons of those out
long
there.
Line. Sorry,
but like I just find her. I don't know how to beat her in a primary. Obama knew. He was the only person that knew how to beat her in a fucking primary.
It makes sense to like dummies that think they know things about politics. They're like, it has to be her. There's no other options.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit it. I mean, Bernie was the stopgap. I mean, if Bernie would have hit 2016, it would have slowed down the bleeding on a lot of this stuff, and I think reconfigurated where everything is at. But these fucking idiot-ass Democrats have lost so horribly, and they're done, and it's going to get like really bad for them and everybody because of what they did. Like the way they chose to do the courts, the way they chose not to be strategic about anything. All that's going to fuck us forever.
Yeah. Also,
but yeah, we had an option.
In the chat, Black Carrot said, Brian, why wouldn't Biden run? What excuse would he give? I just don't know. I think that like he's going to get sort of pushed out, especially if Hillary Clinton wants to run. I mean, it's always been said that like he was only going to do one term. I mean, if he runs,
he has to do a debate again.
Yeah.
I remember when we watched that debate and we all thought it was going to be a really fun time, and it was just Trump doing all this stuff and Biden just going like, what the heck, man? Yeah. And we were like, this isn't fun. Like, I wanted to turn it off because it was like, sucks. This guy can't fight.
Yeah, this is depressing.
Yeah, this dude sucks.
It's two very dumb men. Just one saying something
old doddering
crazy.
Men, yeah.
Yeah, one of them says something crazy and the other goes, man, what the heck, Jack? What's going on here? And again, like, that's the other thing is like, I think they can talk him into not running. I think
Joe Biden's too arrogant.
You think so?
For sure.
I think they'll push him out. if they can figure out how to do it without making it look like they're pushing
They've never
him
been
out.
strategic, though. They're just so
Well,
frozen in fear that they just do the same thing.
I have to say, you say they've never been strategic, but they've been incredibly strategic when it comes to like stopping Bernie Sanders from becoming the nominee.
Yeah, that's
And they were always really good with Dennis Kucinich and
their powers combined.
anybody with left ambitions. They're good at making sure those people don't get to be the nominee or the president. So they know how to do politics.
For sure.
They just won't do they won't do the stuff that Republicans do. I don't know. I think Biden I think it could be very fun to see Biden getting primaried by Hillary Clinton. That to me is something that I would pay attention to. You would really get me in. It would be like when a TV show had a bad season. It's like when Sons of Anarchy had the Ireland season where it's like, this show fucking sucks, man. This Ireland stuff is stupid. And then they came back later and then just did something more psycho. And I was like, I'm into it. Yeah, that would be fun. I would love that. It would be very fun. So we will see. We will see what's going to happen, I guess. You know, a court ruled the Democratic Party can rig its own primary. So that's nice. That's something that's going on. But we'll see, man. You know, I am nervous about the whole thing. I think the midterms are lost. There's just no way. If they don't do anything, you know, we've talked about this for so long, this idea that like there is this like there are these two super easy moves that they could pull off, which one is canceling student loan debt and one is just legalizing weed, and people would just be like, fuck it, I'll vote for Democrats.
I mean, they literally don't want to be Dennis Kucinich. Like, they just don't want to be related to somebody that says, I stand up for trans people. They don't want to be around some people that says like all drugs should be legal, and I stand with people that use drugs. The liberals live in this halfway space where like the conservative right can get crazy so easily, and they hang out with the crazy people all the time, and it's like a perfect unison. We can't get these people to like, they're hemming and hawing about like, you know, pronouns and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't
just get in here.
Yeah. And I also
just and they're actually like, I'm pro-choice, and I'm like, no, be pro-abortion. Just be like anybody that doesn't want to do it. Who cares?
Yeah,
fucking get them out of here. It doesn't have to be any sort of like thoughtful anything.
No.
See, and they're more like, you know, romantic about the whole fucking thing.
It should be safe and rare was the thing somebody pointed out that Hillary Clinton used to say.
And their radical right controls everything. And we have nothing. We are hated by everybody. They fucking team up with us with Nazis. Nazis that are like, communism doesn't work. Liberals are also like, yeah, it doesn't work because I wouldn't have like a really nice apartment in a major city.
I couldn't have an e-bike.
I couldn't have an e-bike.
But I mean, people would be mad if I had an e-bike.
I wouldn't have much money for charcuterie boards, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think legalizing weed would be a move that is like doing almost nothing. It is really almost doing nothing. Weed is pretty much legal anyway, and like would by goodwill. I just don't think they're going to do it. I don't think that's even a thought. And I don't think that canceling student debt's ever going to happen. We just got to stop paying them, which I mean, you know, I'm already in that boat. I ain't paying the fucking things.
Sure.
They can eat my shit, you know.
Of course.
They can eat my shit.
Suck on a log.
Suck on my fucking log, fuckers. I was getting into that over the vacation time too. I was just going nuts out there just cursing.
Talking about turd stuff.
Oh, God,
did you eat naughty shit? Did you get your dick sucked underneath them dark stars?
Brother, I didn't take a shower for fucking 3 days.
Well, yeah.
And neither did she.
That's a good way to
have
a communion.
That's not how the Quinby family
Filthy communion.
Fucks. Yeah, we clean. We fucking, I've been wiping with dude wipes and shitting at a mire for 3 days. I'm not going to have sex. It's not going to happen. I'm more likely to have sex tonight.
That's unfortunate.
Than I was back then. You know, in that other in Michigan. If there was a shower, I probably would have had some sex. Everybody, okay? But no, I'm not.
If you take the right drugs, you wouldn't worry about that.
I showered
There's
with
drugs that get rid of that worries.
I showered with a fucking dude wipes We went to Meijer and bought dude wipes that are like the size of like a napkin.
I loved XLs. XLs, yeah.
But shower in a bag.
Yeah, it's like a fucking paper towel.
And I gotta tell you, dude, my balls and listen, I'm gonna be disgusting right now.
No
okay?
way, not you.
I'm gonna be fucking gross
Not
right now. And I'm
you.
just gonna let everybody know. I had evil jock itch before I left.
Oh no.
Because I went to the fireworks with my wife and we walked. And then I walked 50,000 steps in 98-degree humid heat, right?
Congratulations.
And I wear these long compression shorts when I walk, which don't super breathe that well because I walk so much that like if I don't do something about it, then it's just my legs are gonna chafe like crazy. So my balls and ass are in hell before I leave for the fireworks. I'm tired. I say, fuck it. Let's go to the fireworks. We walk down to the fireworks with the same balls and ass situation that was bad before.
Sure.
I get home and I wake up the next morning and folks, let me tell you, it was fucked up down there. It was itchy. It was red.
Oh no.
It was wet. It was just things were so bad down there that I had to go to the store and buy some stuff and several creams.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing too.
Oh god,
Took psychic damage
I
off
hate
that.
creams. You
Yeah.
know I hate it.
And you know, all their friends were like on the patio at the bar later. Like, this guy came out and bought 3 creams, man. His ass is so fucked up.
So a couple years ago, when I got creams for an itch that I had that didn't have anything to do with my balls or ass, if you guys remember that,
yeah,
right on the show, I had an itch, but it was my stomach area. It wasn't my balls or my ass. It had nothing to do with it.
Sure.
So I still had 2 of those creams because they overprescribed it, and I keep that around all the time. If I ever had any problem,
balls and ass cream.
No, it's just it's some kind of cream. I don't know, but it's
not for your balls, or your ass.
And so then I also went to the store and bought Jock Itch cream.
Okay.
I bought that. And
athleticism.
I walked around my house for 2 days before I left on this trip without underwear on.
Why?
To fucking let it breathe. I put the cream on there.
Is this like is this like getting a base tan in or something?
Well, I creamed and then I put...
For what?
Because I had a jock itch, like crazy, nasty shit going on in there. So I walked around without underwear on with cream on for like 2 days.
Okay.
And then it cured. It was cured. But then I got to this place and I couldn't shower. So now I'm walking around.
Yeah.
I'm backsliding.
This whole situation.
You're just start backsliding. It's like all the work you did those days, free balling and all that stuff, all that work, gone, erased.
Yeah.
You know?
Got to take a wide stance now.
Yeah. And I'm not taking a shower at this place because I'm going to tell you, when you smell this water, it's just unbearable.
Fart ball water is not good for me.
Okay. So I go to the store. I get these dude wipe gimmicks because I'm like, I got to do something. I was thinking about driving to a truck stop with showers.
Oh, yeah. Paying 85 cents or something.
I also Googled my gym to see if I had a gym nearby.
Wow.
Yeah, no
very
gyms
smart.
up there. No gyms
up there,
Yeah,
really.
there weren't even movie theaters up there.
No way.
Yeah, there's no movie theaters up there. And none of that stuff. You couldn't get like anything. It's just nothing up there. So I go and I buy these dude wipe things, and my whole shower every day that I'm there is open a dude wipe, armpits. Yeah, get them pits really good.
Pits and bits.
Pits. And then I go down, I get the balls, and I clean up way up down there. And then my hole. I clean my hole last.
Okay.
And, it kept me from getting worse again. But also...
It's like a baby getting diped up.
Also, the whole thing down there, wet the entire time I was gone. It was wet from the dude. I think the dude wipe stuff did something to me. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm just going to live in a place. I'm just never going to go to another place where I can't shower every single day.
Smart move.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It was just a really bad.
Campgrounds honestly have better setups than that.
That's what my wife was telling me. She was like, we stayed
a KOA or like a Jellystone.
Yeah. She's like, exactly. The guy's like explaining to us, he's like, you got to have a certain grade to your sewage lines. It's got to be a certain amount. And we came in just.
No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Well, it was legal. He was saying it was
barely legal sewage.
Barely legal.
That's not a selling point for sewage.
That's what he said to Kate. I'm watching wrestling, right? Because I hooked my phone up to the TV and just watched wrestling when it was
I'm getting
on.
acid reflux. I feel like I'm about to throw up.
He's telling her all the stuff. You know what I mean? He's just telling her, I don't care about TV. Who needs Wi-Fi? I don't even have a cell phone.
Lead didn't do me any harm.
Yeah. So yeah, it was rough. It was really. The balls and ass situation was like kind of the worst part about the trip.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't have sex though. In the end,
but if you don't put your mouths, you can just do stuff. It's really gross down there, but you don't have to look. You just touch them together. You don't look down there.
No.
Don't pay attention. I do it all the time for like period stuff too.
I wouldn't.
Just don't pay attention.
I don't care about.
You have to go
periods
down
or
there,
nothing.
but just like even if it's filthy down there, it just feels good down there. But just no mouth stuff is fine.
I'm not even a
That's
period
fair.
guy, but also I didn't get to shower and my like.
you gotta work it underneath
Didn't have
the
my
stars.
bidet.
You're not
Like
interested.
I'm having sex and I haven't even had my asshole cleaned up from the shits I'm doing at a mire.
But dude, you're not
Right?
impressed by the stars. If you're doing like a Captain Morgan leg, when like you get the full view of the stars, the full aurora borealis, that's the king shit.
I'm just gonna tell you, I would have never done it because it would have smelled. If we would have had sex, just coming from my body, it would have smelled like shit. It would have smelled like actual pure shit.
They don't care, man.
Because you can't wipe.
Ladies, everybody's horny.
You can't
as fuck.
wipe the
Everybody
kind
just get it in.
You can't wipe the kind of turds I have away with just dude wipes, dude. You gotta
Really?
fucking shower.
Really?
You gotta use a bidet and then
They're
shower.
that bad, huh?
I mean, the
Are
day
they
before
different
I
than mine?
left on the 4th of July, yes. You've seen what happens with my turds, especially on vacation.
So, will you like to get your ass ate? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm saying that I
you gotta
don't
get
want
your
my
ass played
wife
with
to
and it's very
smell.
duty. She doesn't need your asshole, right?
Right, but
you're straight guy.
You have
right?
the whole ass out. You have the whole thing
Oh,
out.
and the stink lines are coming off of that. Like that booty is stinking.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I just
Kills
don't-
the mood.
It does. It
It's
would have
just like-
smelled like actual fucking shit, like actual doo-doo shit poop. Because like you just thank you, Killdozer fan in the chat. This man is shitting. I mean, listen to what I ate the first 2 days I was gone. First night, Pizza Hut. Second night, Arby's. My stomach is still
fuck
fucking
that, man.
dying right now.
I couldn't do that.
They didn't have no other
I would
food up
fucking
there,
tap
bro.
out, man.
I couldn't cook
I'd
with
be
the
eating-
poop water.
I've
and
eaten those egg salads from the gas station.
bottom diet.
we
I
gotta
didn't even
take
know
some-
there was one.
Let's take some calls.
Okay.
I think we got a serious one here first.
Oh no. Okay.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, this is Cassandra.
Howdy.
Cassandra, how are you? I'm sorry
Hey.
about the previous 10 minutes of what we were doing while you were on hold.
You know, it's human stuff. Humans are gross and awesome all at the same time.
It's a big problem with the world is people can't accept it.
Yeah, you just got to deal with it. How are you guys tonight?
I'm pretty good. I'm feeling good. I'm home now. I showered. I feel real good. So, feeling great.
Good. No more dude wipes on the horizon for you.
Fucking
So,
never. I promise you, I will never, ever, ever stay anywhere that's not within 20 minutes of the center of the city.
That sounds about right for you.
So what's up?
Well, yeah. So I'm Cassandra, and my husband Max is here with me. He might chime in too. And we're calling from the island of Oahu, Hawaii. And we've been listening to you guys and in the Facebook group with our comrades for about 5 to 6 years, but never called in before.
Yeah, no, we've been around for a long time.
Yeah. And we appreciate y'all's leadership. I was thinking about what Brett, you said right at the beginning, leaving the campsite better than where you left it before.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what I'm calling about. wanted to kind of let the Street Fight family know, get the message out about something that's a really huge deal here in Hawaii on the island of Oahu. Do you guys know what's going on? Have you heard about what's going on with like the Red Hill water crisis at all?
No, I know the thing I know about Hawaii is the Mark Zuckerberg stuff that I know about, but no, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's like bought like most of it, but I don't know about the water crisis. What is going on?
Yeah, so just I won't be like too long, but just to go back to the beginning, 20% of the land on this island alone is owned by the U.S. military, which isn't that crazy? 20% of this land. And
yeah, it's nuts.
One of the installations is, yeah, it's nuts. And one of the installations is a massive quote unquote strategic fuel reserve. And it sits directly over the island's only fresh water source, just 100 feet above our aquifer.
Lord.
It's massive. It was built, yeah, it's terrifying. It was built in the 1940s, directly adjacent to one of our main wells. And it has been leaking since the year it was built.
Of course.
You're going to scare that.
In the last 80 years, there have been 76 confirmed leaks.
The ones that the Navy's admitted to.
And that's the drinking water you guys are all drinking, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's only one aquifer for the whole island. So, you know, there is an oil plume right now, a jet fuel plume in there. So in 2021, a major leak from the facility, just like right around Thanksgiving, poisoned thousands of people on the Navy water line. So all of the military service members and some civilians. The leak got into the aquifer, up in the well, into everybody's pipes in their homes. They were turning on the faucet. Their houses smelled like jet fuel. They were calling the alarm, and the Navy was admitting to nothing.
Yeah, that sounds like the Navy.
Born, hospitalized. Yeah. Yeah.
So is there like, are people, that fucking sucks that the military owns so much of these, like, I mean, you know, obviously America shouldn't have anything to do with Hawaii. I'm pretty sure, like, we kind of stole that land.
Yeah.
Like we did everything else. But even if we're gonna own it or whatever, I mean, we could, you know, not have it be, first of all, most like our military there, and second of all, just making a fucking mess of everything too. Because I know they also kick people off their land, their family's land, and shit like that. Like, there's all kinds of fucking bullshit going on there, and like people on the mainland don't really say shit about it because it just feels like a place. I mean, I'm guessing this. It feels like a place we'll never go. So it feels like a fake place to people like me, I guess.
Point, Brian. Or it feels like a playground, right? Like where they visit and then go home and out of sight, like out of mind. And most of the things that people think about Hawaii isn't like what it's like to live here.
No.
You know, so it's interesting.
Right. And I think people have cognitive dissonance about the idea, their vision of paradise or whatever, like weird ideas they have in their mind are not really compatible with the idea of like Pu'uloa, which is Pearl Harbor, being basically having like 18 sectors of Superfund sites in it. Like there's so much that's actually going on here that just conflicts with the standard American conception of what it is to be in Hawaii or what Hawaii is.
Yeah, I think that's really well said.
I mean, I'll say this too. I want to say this too is like, you know, until I started, you know, kind of doing this show and being in the circles that I'm in, I mean, honestly, probably never heard a negative word about Hawaii in my life up until, you know, the past like few years. I've followed a few like leftists from Hawaii and people that are homesteading there and stuff like that. And I have learned a lot more. But like, if you had asked me in 2010, I would just be like, well, yeah, Hawaii's like the best place in the world, and which it probably could still be, but there's no problems there at all. It's just this really beautiful place where there's fruit on the trees and stuff like that. And now I know that like we just that the US military and the government just, I mean, it's just the stuff that's happening there is really dependent on us. It's, you know, what situation you're in. I'll say this. The situation you're in is probably a lot like the situation of people in places like Iraq or Iran, in that like people like us here don't only see it as like a theoretical place. It's not a place that we see or touch. Yep, and we probably won't be able to get there because it's very expensive to get there and stuff like that. To us, I think it does. I think to a lot of Americans, it does feel like just, it's not even a real place. You know, that's why you can say like, oh, it's okay to do shock and awe there because the people there are glad you're doing it to get rid of Saddam Hussein. It's sort of the same thing with Hawaii, you know. It's okay to build a bunch of fucking. It's okay to theoretical. It's okay to buy up all the houses on the island to put Airbnbs because I'm not going to be there anyway.
Right. So it's important to know that like there's a lot of really effective organizing being led by Indigenous and Native voices, Kanaka Maoli here, and they're really the ones we all need to listen to and follow as we ally ourselves in this fight to shut down the tanks. There's over 100 million gallons of fuel in those tanks.
Holy
and
Lord.
The people forced the Navy to agree to shut down Red Hill through direct action. The Navy agreed to shut it down, but then they just last week published a plan to defuel it and said it will take over 2 years just to get the tanks ready to defuel. And that is like so unacceptable. 2 years, and then maybe, by the time that time comes around, they'll be like, oh, never mind, we fixed it. It's fine. It's not cool.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's 2 years. They're buying 2 years so that they can figure out the next reason 2 years later that they can't do it,
Exactly.
Oh, I just got back from a trip to a tourist place. And it's funny when you live in a place where tourists go, I don't think people that live there know it, but like I was on this island up in Michigan, and I looked at my wife and I was like, nobody lives here, and like I realized how stupid that sounds now, but I think when Americans go to Hawaii, I don't think they think anybody even lives there, I think they don't even get the impression, because I'm on this damn island. I look up the population of people that actually live there because there is a school there, and it's like less than 1,000. But fuck, I wouldn't even guess 1,000. So like, I think people go to Hawaii.
Do you know how many people live on Oahu?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so this is the most populated island in Hawaii, and there are over 1 million people who live here.
Oh. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And a lot of them also like I think people think it's like, that's another thing too, is like, I don't even think of it as a place that like it's not primarily white people that move there too. I think that's another way.
27%.
Yeah, and I think that's I do think that's another reason the government lets people take advantage of the island too, because it's like anywhere where there's a bunch of white people, it's like, they don't let that shit happen.
Well, it's like Flint, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like West Virginia, where the fracking goes on, but those people are very poor, so they also let it happen to very poor people too.
Right. Exactly.
Every class is not themselves. I mean,
exactly. So is there any place that we can contribute to sort of help out there?
Oh yeah, actually, if you're on Twitter, follow Oahu Water Protectors. That's at Oahu. If you don't know how to spell that, OAHUWP. So OAHUWP on Twitter. There are 2 videos pinned to their account right now that are really, really instructive. And then just like generally following Oahu Water Protectors on Instagram, spelled out completely, Oahu Water Protectors. And their website is owaterwaterprotectors.org. There's also one other one that is really Native and Kanaka Maoli voices leading the way, and that is at KAOHEWAI. on Instagram. So you can also follow the hashtag #ShutdownRedHill, and you'll just find like a lot of stuff. But definitely they have ways to contribute monetarily and learning about it, spreading the word, helping get the word out, because this should be considered a national emergency. This will kill the island, and then I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
If we cannot have water to drink, and it won't just affect humans, it's going to affect every single element of life on this island. And but we can do it. We force them to make a plan, and if we work together, we can force them to defuel the tanks now. With everybody's help.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's hope that happens. Everybody help out. And I'm going to make a promise to you. I will probably be never able to get to Hawaii, but I want to. So,
but we'll choose not to.
Okay.
We're choosing not to go.
We want to, but we're choosing not to.
I've chosen
right now.
I'm choosing not to go for woke reasons.
Right.
Actually.
To get points.
Yeah.
Online. Reddit gold
Just
stars.
Just go to Florida. It's closer.
I'll tell you the truth. I mean, Florida is fine with me.
Pretty idyllic.
Except the weather's worse. See, Hawaii has the better weather, I think.
Yeah.
Because, I went to look at places to stay there once, and, I was just kind of fantasy booking, staying in Hawaii, and I noticed that nobody had air conditioning, and I'm like, well, we ain't going to fucking Hawaii. I'm sorry. No air conditioning on this island? Get out of town.
Yeah. So we don't have air conditioning at our place, and it's really hot inside right now. So
nope.
I can't go to 3 o'clock p.m. It's the hottest part of the day. We're sweating balls over here.
I can't go anywhere. Without air conditioning. So I got a huge problem with my ass and balls that I was just talking about a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's going to be a problem. So thanks for calling, though.
Full circle to the balls. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Peace.
Damn.
Thank you.
I hate
Bye.
the government.
Yeah, the government's bad. I said that from the beginning of the show, really.
Yeah, I've
They
been
can't
saying
trust the
that for a few
government.
years at least. I
They
was
can't do
really
shit.
into the government 2 years ago.
Really?
But now I'm like, forget about this government. I'm not into it,
I've never been.
When everybody was into the government for a time, I was like, yeah,
you
man,
led the
this
charge.
government's fucking great. I was talking about this to some, was I talking about it on the show or something? But I was talking about how there was a period of I go downstairs and I have this bookshelf in my basement, and it has all the books I read before
20 years ago or something.
Street Fight.
Yeah.
So much stuff about Ben Franklin and Al Franken books and books about Thomas Jefferson and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just why did you waste your fucking time caring about that shit?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, at
But
least
you
I got
learn.
out on the other end,
I mean,
dude.
the contrast is great. Yeah.
Yeah, there are fucking 80-year-old people that are still worshiping those guys.
I want to give a shout out also to Church at Ace of Cups. It was it was a good show. The goth night last night.
Oh.
I had a fucking amazing time. We did Molly. I usually do candy flipping, which is acid and Molly, but just Molly. It was very chill. I saw Joey Pig there.
Oh, I saw him. I talked to him for a while, at Comfest.
Yeah. He's doing a BDSM industrial night at Double Happiness in the future. And then I also saw Steve O.D.
Okay, I see
our
him
original collaborator.
I see him at the Big Fun sometimes.
Yes,
I go in there
working
looking
there,
for
yes.
Legos.
And then I also talked to somebody that said they knew me and they didn't listen to my podcast, but they listened to the Bituation Room podcast, which I was on recently.
That is interesting.
So they're Frantifa.
Nice.
So there was a good crossover. It was fun.
That's great. That is fucking awesome.
I
thought you were talking about real church.
goth is the best subculture. There's none better.
So Brett goes.
It pushes so many boundaries.
Brett goes to a goth night called Church. I'm actually from the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Church.
We have someone on the line for you, actually, ready for that.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Someone's ready to preach the gospel
Mitchell
of
Romney?
Jesus to you.
Mitt Romney.
Thanks for calling Straight Fight.
Hey, who we got here?
It's Jake.
What's up, Jake? How's it going?
Good. I've been really enjoying Brian's investigation into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
That's me. I'm big into
He's
it.
tempted. He's seen the light.
I'm tempted. I just the candy. I mean, the candy.
Just
thing
candy
is-
life.
Yeah.
Religious candy. Mandated candy by your religion.
I just love candy so much.
You're down. You do have a good thing going where like you can join any religion that like bans drinking. Like you can get in because like that's a turn off for me.
Coffee's a problem though.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the fucking thing. I'm not gonna quit drinking coffee. You know, caffeine. I just love it. It does all the tricks I need it to.
Yeah.
You know. So, what is going on?
It's funny you mentioned it. Growing up, I grew up Mormon.
You
and There's this
did.
guy in our congregation
We need a lot.
who after church every Sunday he would open up the trunk of his car and he had a big like bucket in there filled with candy bars, and he would let all the kids line up and pick out a candy bar after church every day, and that
Okay.
kept it going for
That's
a long
move.
time.
That's one move.
This might be my prejudice talking. Okay. Is it crummy candy? Because I would think religious people wouldn't know about good candy bars. Was it like
That's the thing.
paydays?
This guy spared no expense.
Okay.
We're talking king size.
Yeah, the
you
Lord
know,
provides abundance.
all varieties. Yeah.
Thank God.
It
I was thinking.
it was a complete.
Sorry, I was thinking Babe Ruth's and shit. Like it just, I wasn't thinking there would be Reese's or Caramello. And
No, I also hate when someone tries to win your favor with the cheapest candy possible.
yeah, you got by the good candy.
Yeah, give me something I can think about.
Yeah, yeah.
Draw me in. Get some good bait.
No, yeah, he knew the deal.
That would keep me Mormon for
But
longer
yeah,
than probably I should have
Snickers.
been. Yeah.
Name brand Snickers.
I served a Mormon mission back in like 2013.
Really?
Yes.
In Washington, yeah, in Washington D.C.
What was that like?
Ooh. Ooh, that's a tough draw, though. That's a tough draw for you, Washington D.C. There's probably not a lot of Mormons there.
It was awful. It was a miserable experience from day one until the end, the full 2 years.
Constant
And,
heckling?
for a lot of reasons.
I mean, people in D.C. talk
know,
shit
and
on
I've
the
been doing
streets openly.
Oh yeah. I've been doing a project where I've been going through. So while I was a missionary, it was the only point in my life where I've kept like a consistent journal. For like the full 2 years, I kept a journal, and I was very in. I was 100% believing this was like it. Like I was on board 100. I didn't have any doubts about what I was doing, about like anything like that. So I've been going back through and typing up these journal entries and then making annotations and notes from where I am now. And it's been crazy to read something off the page that I know that like I wrote and just flabbergasted at how like insane some of the shit is in there, and then like realizing what I'm not like putting down on the page. You know, like one major theme is early on, I keep talking and writing about how I feel weird, you know, like today was a weird day, just like not allowing myself to voice that what I'm experiencing is like intense anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Day in and day out.
Right.
How did you end up in DC? Like, how did they pick where you end up going?
So what it is you're told that it is an inspired call, that where they assign you to serve a mission is inspired by God. And what they do is you have the governing body of the church, which is the quorum of the 12 apostles. And so when you fill out your application, essentially, you send it in, and then one of those, they have sessions every week where these 12 apostles, they go in this little office and they have computer screens set up, and they have these applications, and your picture pops up with like your basic information, and then on their other screen they have a list of all the missions in the world, and essentially they quote unquote receive inspiration and just assign you to one of the missions.
Jeez, that is.
I got a letter. It used to be you get a letter in the mail telling you where you're going for the next.
I got to tell you, it had to be. I know that you fully believed in it, but I sort of feel like it has to be frustrating that all of these goddamned people, that all these people are like, no, I'm inspired. I need you to do this because I heard the call.
Right.
And it's like you just have to trust that some dude heard the call. Like, that's got to be the tough thing. The tough thing, because that's basically right. Like how all the bad stuff, like the stuff that you don't. I would say the stuff that you're not a huge fan of, like all the bad news and stuff, is just being couched in, well, I heard the call. Actually, that's why this happened.
That's the thing, and that's what keeps you going when you're out there and it's dog shit, and you think, well, God has a reason for me to be in this place at this moment at this time. So
that's powerful.
While I don't have the answer now, I just have to put my head down and continue to get completely embarrassed.
Let me ask you this. Let me also ask you what was a day like on the mission? Like, where did you live?
Yeah. I primarily I lived in Northern Virginia most of the time, and what it is, it's very organized. The mission is organized with a hierarchical body. There's a mission president, which is just some dude that is assigned to be a mission president from the church, and he oversees. I think there were like 300 missionaries in our mission, and so you get assigned to a specific area, a geographical area that's like your spot to proselyte with your companion, who you have to be with them 24 hours a day. You're not allowed to. The only time you're physically separated from them is when you're in the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because I'll tell you what, if I'm putting this gimmick together, this mission stuff together, I'm thinking like, if these people get separate, they're leaving. One of them's gonna fucking leave.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
It works that way. Yeah, it absolutely.
That's the whole reason.
It's like the Olympics, where people get a chance to just like run away and make a new persona instead of competing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to wake up by 6:30. You have to get up by 6:30 a.m. You can get up earlier if you want.
No.
But you're not supposed to be in bed past 6:30 a.m. And then you're supposed to work out, exercise for 30 minutes at least, and then the 7 to 8 o'clock hour is for getting ready for the day, showering, getting dressed. From 8 to 9, you are supposed to have personal study, so reading your scriptures, practicing the missionary lessons, that kind of stuff. From 9 to 10, you're supposed to have companionship study, where you read scriptures with your companion, you practice teaching. We had to do a lot of like role playing, where one of us would pretend to be an investigator, someone interested in the church, and we'd practice teaching the missionary lessons to them. And then from 10 to 5, you were supposed to be doing missionary work, which literally just for the most part meant going out and trying to talk to people, knocking on doors, all the classic stuff.
Oh, that sounds like the worst.
You get an hour for lunch in the middle of the day, an hour for dinner at 5, and then from 6 to 9, same thing. You're supposed to be out. If you don't have any appointments with people, same thing, just trying to contact constantly. And then you're supposed to be home by 9:30 and then in bed by 10:30.
And they're paying you in a way?
For 2 years.
Or are they paying you?
What the church does is it used to be you paid for the whole thing no matter where you went, but they standardized everything like a while ago, where no matter where you get sent, you pay $10,000 for the 2 years, over the 2 years.
That's not very much money.
You know,
10 grand for 2 years of work.
We lived in apartments. There's a senior couple. So like what you'll do in Mormonism is when you get old and you're retired, you and your wife you'll go out on a senior mission, and they do a lot of like the administrative and like clerical stuff. So there was a guy who his job was housing, so he would just rent apartments all throughout Northern Virginia, and we just lived in apartment complexes. So the accommodations were decent in where I was.
Spending all your time being Mormon. When you're Mormon, like all of Christian people, like they fucking have beers on Saturday and like play cornhole and like have fun and stuff like that. When you're Mormon, you're fucking just spending all your time doing Mormon stuff. It's all day and all night. It sounds...
That's the difference between cult and organized religion.
What?
Difference between cult and organized religion.
Yeah. Well, and like, it doesn't seem to me like there are moderate Mormons at all. Like, it seems like if you're
a moderate Mormon, they call you a Jack Mormon.
A Jack Mormon?
We call people hill jacks too, that are like they're the hillbillies' cousins. My mom used to call people hill jacks. I'm like, why do you call them that? Because they're like a hillbilly's cousin.
Yeah,
they live in the city, but like they come from hill people.
I've always felt like city hillbillies are. That's what rednecks
are
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I've always.
But then there's also people that retain their country ways, and that's a hill jack.
Yeah,
country people stuck in the city. That's a hill jack.
So let me ask you this: what made you leave?
Go ahead.
Like, what was the thing that was like, I don't want to do this no more?
I got back from my mission in 2015, right as the election was ramping up. The primaries for the 2016 election were ramping up, and the one thing that the mission did for me while I was fully believing is it pretty quickly, when you're out trying to proselyte people, we'd be in these like nice Northern Virginia suburbs, and you just get shit on all day. So you start going to these apartment complexes and places where poor people live, basically, because they're much nicer and they'll let you in. And it's really shitty because, you get people who are at their lowest points and they're more willing to listen to this shit because, any number of reasons.
Community.
Anyway, it sort of exposed me to like a lot of like the world that I had never had exposure to. So coming back and like, looking at, because I grew up in a Republican home, obviously, and I was looking at all the candidates for the Republican primary, and I was like, all these people are like evil, like they're not like honest people, and they don't give a shit. Like, I don't want to vote for any of these people. And then I was like, there's nothing that says I can't vote for Hillary Clinton. And then, like, after about half a day, I was like, oh, she's evil too. I don't want to vote for her. And so it sounds so dumb, but like just hearing Bernie Sanders for the first time, like hearing him give a speech like at a rally or whatever, I was like, oh, this is like a guy who like believes in what he's saying, like in a way that I'd never like experienced from a politician before, right? Like he actually like believes the shit that he is preaching, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I've always said when it comes to politicians is that regular folks are honorable and you can take them by their word, and they mistakenly place a lot of their own like honor and reliability into the people in charge because they think people in charge should be even better than them, but they're wrong. But
Yeah.
So long story short, it was the jump from there from being like, oh yeah, like conservatism is a bunch of bullshit. The jump from there to like questioning everything else that I believed and felt, and just it let itself in basically, and I allowed myself to consider and kind of realize everything that that nothing that I believed was a given.
It's so refreshing too.
It has to be more fun too.
It's just
right?
Everything is you can just let all the guilt wash away. You don't have to think about shit anymore.
And like, you're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to do shit.
I came from crazy upbringings, but I still had a moment in my life where it's like, I don't have to be angry about everybody. My parents were super conservative. It's like, I don't have to be mad about other people living their lives anymore. And it was like, it just felt like 1,000,000 pounds was taken off my fucking shoulders to not have to be mad all the time at people for how they wanted to live their life, which is where conservative bogs himself down.
Yeah. Did you have like, well, I mean, I've said this before, but like Literally, I think the thing that made me not conservative anymore after like literally the shortest run of conservatism, I think it was like 6 to 8 months or something like that. But the thing that made me not conservative was that like I could not get down with like the racism or the homophobia. And I'm not even saying at the time I wasn't homophobic. I just couldn't be a guy that cared how other people wanted to have sex. Or live
to the
their
point
life.
of making a law about it.
Yes, that's really what got me. It was just like these people are fucking.
Who
nasty.
cares? Yes, doesn't matter.
Yeah, like it just got me thinking. Like Republicans are fucking nasty. They're like nasty, mean people.
They're angry all the time. They're triggered by everybody else. Like it's not a lifestyle that's appealing to me at all. Like I literally said that to my parents, and they gave me like nothing in response. But it was like, you fuckers seem miserable all the time. I don't want to do that.
Yes, yeah. So how did you go a little nuts? You know, when you decided you weren't going to go to hell for it, like. Did you get a little wild? Maybe get some drinks in you. Some weed.
It was honestly it was like a kind of a slow process because I was still you hold on for as long as you can. Mm-hmm. You know, you try to like Jimmy rig kind of a belief system that can like maybe fit in with what you want to believe in, but it breaks you down over time. Because the thing is, going to the moderate Mormon thing is when you get into the doctrine of Mormonism. If you believe in it, you have to be all in on it because it's the answer to everything, right? You can't like, if you try to like make your own version and like live it, you'll get forced out eventually, right? There's just no room. So what finally like broke my shelf completely and made me be like, oh yeah, the institution itself is not good. Is a story came out where this woman was so brave. This refers to sexual assault for anyone listening. This woman had been a missionary in the 80s, and she had been sexually assaulted by one of the mission leaders. He had like singled her out, classic. You know, she came from a like an unstable home. You know, he singled her out and sexually assaulted her. And 40 years later, you know, in like 2018, she tracked him down, and under the guise of saying that she was going to interview him for a story for, you know, a magazine or something, she sat down to interview him and recorded him, and then confronted him with this what he had done to her, and got him to admit on the tape, you know, that he had done this.
Wow. And
it was big news in Mormon circles, to the point where the church had come out with an official statement, and I was already like waffling, but what got me and was like, oh, these people are not on the side of like what they say they are, was in the statement they had included a bit where they said this woman served a mission for a brief time in the 1980s. And it was that phrase, for a brief time, because in Mormonism, there is such a stigma to missionaries who come home early, who don't do the full term of their missions, that it was just inserted in there as just this like gentle, well, not so gentle, but barb at this idea that she's not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't even like finish a mission. So reading that phrase was really the final moment. And I got high that weekend for the first time, because I was like, this is, you know,
hell yeah,
I'm done.
Fuck this shit, man. Now I'm getting high and jerking off.
One pill makes you taller, and one pill makes you small.
I was jerking off the whole time. I just felt really guilty for it.
You feel bad about nothing. Yeah.
Unless it hurts. When it fucking hurts, that's when you gotta like feel bad.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, most Mormons are jerking. Even the most top level Mormons are jerking off. They just apologize for it.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
My teenage years were just wrought with this feeling of like darkness, because I couldn't.
Shame.
I was like, I'm a sick individual.
Can't stop doing it. It's so easy to do. I'm so bored. This is so fucking fun and cool to do.
Well, I'll say this. I felt that way too, and I was not at all religious, period. I just felt that. I just felt like it was the wrong thing to be doing.
In the middle of math class, you were just like, I'd rather be playing my balls right now. I'd rather have all my underwear and pants off and spread eagle.
it feels like you're not like it shouldn't be this easy to feel so good.
It's a cheat. It's certainly
It
a
is.
life hack.
But I think like the cool thing about like the Mormon converts, that the people that are not Mormon anymore that we talk to, is like they get to do all the fun shit at an older age than we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just even
'cause-
opening yourself up to being able to have beer or smoke weed
I
and
know.
just being like, I'm going to do that today.
In their 30s.
Yeah, getting amped about it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so fun. I thought PP man in a chat said I thought it was going to break my penis or balls off or something. I actually thought I was going to run out of cum and I wasn't going to be able to do it when I was an adult. Like you only had so much good feeling in there.
Sure.
So then like in order, because like what I'll do a lot of times when I'm having a panic attack or anxiety is I'll then start to tell myself that I'm telling myself good, like this isn't going to happen. And I start to try to talk myself down.
Okay.
So I start to like try to neutralize these bad feelings by saying like, well, that's like, so what I had to do was I had to just be like, your balls are like a factory for cum. So it's not even going to like be a big deal. If you want to have kids, your balls are always making cum. So like I was doing that. I didn't really believe it though. I really thought I wasn't going to get to cum.
You thought it dried up?
Yeah, I just
thought it was
thought
finite.
Because I just kind of thought that like there was only so many times. Because I remember one day, this really vague fucking memory when I was young, and just going like, just this really vague memory of me saying like, okay, I'm gonna keep count. Once I've done it 100 times, I'm gonna stop. Like that was the first. I was like, I'm just gonna jerk off like 100 times.
Yeah, you were. I mean, Christianity got your ass.
I know.
Just from sideline stuff. You felt like you were a sinner, like, I'm a sinner, I'm the devil. And it's like, oh, I feel bad for being the devil now that I'm like doing sadism all the time.
You know what got me? You want to know what really made me that way was when I was in the 6th grade, there was this kid that I went to school with who was accused of jerking off in school and was just ruthlessly bullied. And we're not talking about, he didn't jerk off at school. He's literally accused of jerking off like
privately.
He's a guy that jerks off instead of like a guy that doesn't jerk off, like apparently like all of us were, you know? And
yeah, I mean, you lived under a terrible.
I did.
Terrible,
it was a terrible regime.
People hiding against just the natural functions of their body.
Yeah,
you look to there's like whole other countries where they're like children's characters swing by their like really long penises, like it's a monkey tail. And then you think about like Groveport, Ohio, where it's just like nobody jerks off.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to.
Procreate. We're procreating. That's all we're doing.
It wasn't
just
even,
like God fucking intended, bro.
It wasn't even like I didn't even. First of all, the first thing I heard
never felt
was,
bad. I was proud of it. It was also a good way to get a gag out of people.
Well, I had also been told that it was gay, and at that time in my life,
oh my god,
poor
guy,
I
poor
couldn't
fella.
grapple with those.
The whole audience is going, oh,
no, they're not.
Yes,
they're
they
like,
are.
what an
We feel
idiot.
bad for you. Yeah,
yeah,
that you
yeah.
bite into that because a lot of us didn't.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people my age. Thank you, Hank Snowday, and the thing said, "Oof, man, we had a kid who got accused of jacking off in the 7th grade, and he got picked on so much he had to transfer schools. We called this guy Homeboy Jack, and we'd be like sitting behind. I'd be sitting behind him in class and be like, Homeboy Jack, you gonna jerk off, man? You gonna jerk off, Homeboy Jack?" And it was just like he probably didn't even do it, man. You know, it was just people said he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's
and that's most of the things that like the way that the religious people say their religion kind of prevented them from doing stuff. Like my stuff was the religion of wanting to be cool and like popular and like.
But
just,
why Jesus shame?
It wasn't. It wasn't that. It was like this is what
trad.
This is what
you had anti-trad guilt. Like I was fucking on the undercover all the time, and it was like I knew that was the cool thing to do. I knew it was very cool to be having sex when you're 14 years old.
Well, that was cool though. You were allowed to do that. I've told you about.
I jacked off too, though. It's
No,
like I
you-
fuck and I jack off. I'm a sexual motherfucker. Watch out for me.
There was the buddy of mine that got a beej in the 6th grade, and then the girl went around and told everybody he didn't have hair on his balls, so then everybody was making fun of this guy.
Yeah, you can roll past that.
And then I was like fucking nervous, so nervous about the fact that one, I wouldn't raise my hand at school if I was wearing short sleeves because I didn't want people to see I didn't have hair in my armpits. Sure. And then when me and my friends would be fucking hanging out, we would throw pubic hairs at each other. We would reach in our pants and get like a pubic hair and just toss it in the other guy's face and be like, check out all my pubic hairs.
Okay, that's not fair. I have to say I have hairy privilege over you. I have I have some Macedonian heritage in me that has a very robust hair coverage.
I also carried...
Very early on, too. I had sideburns when I was in high school.
See, I also carried a fucking... I didn't get hair in my pits till the 8th grade, and I was like fucking really worried about the hair in my pits part of it.
And I'm an oily people.
And the other like shitty thing the other weird thing was like I would carry deodorant with me to school in my coat pocket. And like when I'd be hanging out with my friends in a group, I would pull like girls. If there were girls around, I'd pull the deodorant out and put it on in front of them.
I remember that.
So that like they would see me having puberty.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy had puberty. All right, he's set.
He's virile.
Yeah. So
he's a stallion.
Yeah, it was a very weird situation, and it's bad what we do to kids. What people have done.
Oh, the whole fucked up thing. Yeah, kids' relationship is so fucked up, and I haven't even begun to chip away at it. My kid, it's already too late for my child. She's 9 years old, but yeah, I mean, maybe her kids will do better.
I mean, she's going to start doing what Gwen did, where it's like she seems like a whimsical person, and then all of a sudden she'll only wear one kind of pants and one shirt.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
I did read that James Caan, there was a James Caan quote that somebody shared, rest in peace, where he said, like, I'm a con of a con, and every con after me will be a little bit better. Like, I'm a little bit better than my dad, and my kid is going to be a little bit better than me. And that's really... I had very high aspirations when I had a kid, but I can promise a little bit better than my dad.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Like that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
all. That's all we're gonna do is come in a little bit better than our dads.
Well, hey, thanks for calling in with the Mormon stuff. Anytime. It was really good to hear from you.
Thanks. Have a good night. I'm gonna
You
go
too.
repent.
All right. Have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Sinners over here.
The Scarab's Feast said Tanya got canceled for talking about stuff like this. That is exactly the kind of thing that fucks kids up. That's what fucked me up, is that nobody was allowed to talk to me about it, except for my parents, who were fucking never going to talk to me.
Yeah, weren't
about
comfortable.
it. Yeah. They would have never done it. They fucking...
They're like...
Found my porno. They found my porno in my bedroom. Penthouse letters, by the way, because I'm a sapiosexual. Like I can get off on like reading
Mental
the written
stuff,
word.
just
Yeah,
like-
it's insane. I'm so
Just smart
fucking-
people.
Yeah, I'm intelligent. It was actually just one I stole from my friend who he stole it from his dad, and he had like 3 pornos, and then I was staying a night at his house, and I woke up before him, and I just stole one of his pornos and took it home.
Okay.
I left early in the morning. I was like, oh, I got to leave early. See you later, buddy.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Gotta scram.
But they found it, and they just threw it away and never even mentioned it to me. They also found a Victoria's Secret catalog that I stole out of the mail. And they found it. They never said shit. They never said a fucking word about it to me. And you know what? The truth is, I mean, I tried to run a house, like currently, I tried to run a house where you would be comfortable coming to me with anything. My daughter would be comfortable coming to me with anything.
Right.
But I honestly think I failed that test too. Like, personally. Like, I just don't, I didn't like talk to her about it or anything like that, I didn't have like a conversation with my daughter about sex ever. I still haven't.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Why not?
I don't know, man. I just didn't. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know how to say it. I kind of just assumed my wife did it. Like, I'm just going
Okay, well,
on.
you do have a partner.
Well, yeah, I'm just going on this thing where, like, maybe my wife talked to her about it. I don't fucking know, man. But yeah, I still haven't been able to. I talked to her about drugs. I talked to her about all kinds of stuff. And if she asked me about sex, I'd be willing to indulge that conversation. But I did not force her to have a conversation about sex, and I kind of regret that a little bit. I wish I would have done it, but I think in my mind, it was these kids learn about sex so young with the internet. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Good answer.
It's not. They shouldn't be learning there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, solidarity with Tanya. I really want to get a posse together and run on Chris Rufo. I feel like somebody should just tune him up for making all this hay. But I'm with you as well. Like, I think that, like, at school, they should teach people about putting stuff up their butt in a safe way. They should teach people about, like, how two girls can have a good time. They should talk about, like, female orgasms and shit, you know? There should be a lot more education than what we have to offer. It's like, it's too puritanical the way it is.
Yeah.
But also the same thing is that, like, we're stuck in this moral panic. But, like, I know kids that their parents were like, you take the penis goes inside the vagina, it releases sperm, it makes a baby, and they don't care. They're 8 years old and they don't give a fuck because it's not relevant to their life.
It's not
their
time yet.
My daughter goes and watches people twerk. It's shaking your butt. It's inherently it's shaking your butt to an 8-year-old. You know, it's not like inviting some sort of some sort of dance, some sort of like I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's not saying. I mean, it's not inherently sexual to them.
Yeah.
To the kid.
Yeah.
You're like putting your adult mind in a kid.
Right.
And like, and they shouldn't do that. It's not going to automatically turn them into sex maniacs. It's just not going to.
You know what? I was listening to Low Culture Boil, and they did the Jerry Springer show. And one like really poignant thing that stuck with me was that they said that it was a place where you saw adults that like broke the rules. Mm-hmm. It was a place where like people didn't act like how you're supposed to act in most places, you know? And that's why I feel it's the same thing in that same regard where it's just like rule breakers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wish my parents would have said anything except one thing that they said to me was wear a condom if you're going to have sex, and then wear two. And they told me that when I was 19, after I'd already had plenty of sex.
But like, so I talked to my daughter and I'm like, you know, sometimes people don't want to be the gender they're born with. Sometimes boys dress up like girls. Sometimes it goes both ways. And like, I'm not a living example of that, but it's like, oh, here it is. Here is a dude that has like a whole female persona that is amazing. It's you want to see this. It's an amazing performance. Nothing about drag is like sexual at all. No. It's like, it is so dorky. It's like theater dorks.
It's theater kids.
It's theater dorkiness.
I know. And that's who the conservatives have decided they're going to pick on and fuck
I know.
with.
Any sort of arts or creativity or openness or like sensuality is like, they are going after that. They're winning. They are making a lot of headway. Like, we have to get more militant, like, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
All right, next call.
Them too.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, it's Ryan, Cincinnati.
What's up, Ryan? How's it doing?
Good show so far. I haven't seen this much enthusiasm since they tried to indoctrinate me into the Chinese Party or Chinese Communist Party in Beijing in 2008. So just wanted to say that.
Nice. Okay, we're feeling enthusiastic. Did that really happen?
Did you not get that reference?
No.
There was a Dan Pena quote.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't believe you knew a Dan Pena quote. First of all, but
I thought you would pick that up for sure.
No, I haven't listened to any Dan Pena yesterday. It's almost Shocktober time, so that's what I'm.
Ridiculous one I can come up with. So
I'm man cowing currently.
It's about time.
No, he's crazy. He's having a.
Did you see his Guidestone stuff?
Not yet. No, what?
He's been sharing stuff on Instagram about the Guidestones being satanic and everything.
Oh God, can I tell you what he did? The shooting happened in his neighborhood.
Yes,
where he lives,
and he pretended he filmed it.
Yes, and he also said that the first thing he did was call Billy Corgan to make sure he was okay, because he also lives in that neighborhood.
Okay.
He just wanted to say Billy.
It's a good
Corgan.
reason. It's a good reason to wake him up from his coffin.
It's a good
He's
reason to
asleep
just-
upside down in a coffin, and then they rustle him open.
It's also like
His familiar does.
he loves saying how he knows Billy Corgan. Like,
Of course, yeah. I mean, you got to. Any excuse.
And then he said, you know, when I first saw it, I thought it had all the hallmarks of Antifa. It was just like, okay, whatever, dude.
The hallmarks of Antifa.
Yeah,
You're an expert now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in man cow country currently. So what's going on tonight?
So I always call to talk about something, but then I listened to what you guys are bantering about, and I'd come up with about like 6 other things. First, real quick, Brian, you should get a refund for your Airbnb. You should write about it.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that.
I can't do it.
please.
It's mean guy
Definitely
stuff.
with
It's
on this
worth
one.
it.
I lost it. I lost my meanness. I'm serious. Like, I have been really
You're a
mulling.
doormat, dude.
I said I used to be mean, dude. I used to be a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And
That's
now
not even mean.
to me it feels like I'm being mean if I do it.
Oh lordy.
Is what I'm saying. I used to be
Every
mean.
time
I'm not
you
mean no
describe the
more.
experience, it sounds like awful. Sounds really
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Yeah. So I guess quick one then. I have not been searching Mormon content on YouTube or anything, but I think I'm getting secondhand content just as a result
Of course,
listening
it
to the show. I
happens.
don't know, but have you seen the video of the Mormon time capsule on top of the church in Salt Lake Temple, whatever?
No.
Okay,
I have
there's a
not.
time capsule that was put inside this big granite ball that they put under the statue of the angel Moroni on top of the temple in Salt Lake in like 1892. And I think it happened a couple of years ago, but they because they were doing repairs, they took it down and decided to open it. And I watched this little video on it. It was dying. It was the most anticlimactic thing in the world. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I can if you want. But I recommend you look it up.
Yeah,
Who is it?
I mean, it's
What is you gotta tell us, dude? We're on the fucking air right now.
time
I don't have
capsule.
time to Google.
It's really heavy, obviously, right? It's really like sturdy. So they have to like carefully cut it with angle grinders and all this shit, not damage anything. They finally get it open and they pull out what look like a bunch of like books, and there's a bunch of shit in there, but it's all just fucking ruined. And like the church leaders are there to watch it, but like everything is unreadable. They're like, oh, we think there's a couple pictures of Joseph Smith in there, but they're completely destroyed, so we can't really tell if it's him or not.
Yeah.
So the historians they filled it with like concrete and concrete sweats. So the books just soaked up all of the moisture over the past like 200 years, right? And so nothing inside was identifiable or useful or anything at all. And it was like, what did you even do this for? They were very excited about the time capsule, though. It was like,
Has
really
there
awesome.
ever been? Well, yeah. Has there ever been a good time capsule? That's what I need to know.
I feel
Like, see the
I
Guidestone
think you
one
can
they
make them
dug up?
pretty well, right?
No, I don't think there's ever like. What do you? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. When you say this Mormon time capsule, right, has books in it, they probably put the fucking Book of Mormon in it, which is like, well, we already all have the Book of Mormon, okay?
Nobody's gonna want that 200
What?
years.
What books? They put the books that all these people have on their bookshelf in a goddamn thing, and then they open it up and they're like, oh my God, look, they read the same books we read now. That's all that happens. I've never heard of somebody opening up a time capsule and being like, oh shit, it's like, oh, look, it's an Alf trading card. It's like never anything.
Yeah.
It's never going to be anything, dude.
Right.
Do you know, like, people think that they live in such important fucking times. And that the things that are popular in the time that they live. For example, Alf. When Alf was around, when Alf came out, you'd have thought we would never live in a world without Alf. Alf was going to be the world's hugest thing to ever happen, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. But also Bart Simpson. It was like when Bart Simpson came out, it was like Bart Simpson's going to be around forever. And he actually is around.
Worked
forever.
out, yeah.
You can never, but we don't know that. We don't know in the time. So the reason I think time capsules are silly is because we don't know. We don't even know what's pertinent now. Like I wouldn't. What would you put in a time capsule now? Like a fucking DVD copy of Thor, Or like
I put a Grandma Molly in there.
A Grandma Molly?
Yeah, because it would stick around.
What is
Or like
Grandma Molly?
A gram of Molly.
Oh, okay.
Or like
drugs,
some shrooms or something.
Yeah.
Something I read something earlier today that they put Quaaludes in the guidestones beneath that Georgia Guidestones thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really wanted to think that they had got some new Quaaludes because I want somebody to reverse engineer Quaaludes.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, okay, I'm going to ask both of you. So think of something in your head now. What pop culture thing would you put in a time capsule if we did one today for 50 years in the future to tell people what we were entertained by in 2022? Nothing. There's nothing.
Hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Nothing is hard copy anymore anyway. So what would you even put in there? A TikTok logo or like what?
See, so the reported thing underneath the Georgia Guidestone is there was a Playboy from 1979 signed by Burt Reynolds.
That's kind of sick, though.
There
I
was
would
a
like to have that.
Peterbilt truck. There was the rights to the song Saturday Night Fever.
Okay.
And there was like 1,500 hits of Quaalude.
Okay. Those are pretty good things.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll seems to be the theme, I think.
Yeah, and
although Saturday Night Fever doesn't count as rock and roll,
but it's cool though. The music's
it was
good
hip,
in Saturday Night Fever
at the time.
Okay,
still goes. I mean, if you're in the middle of space and you heard Saturday Night Fever, I think you would start dancing on the ceiling.
Okay, so they did do a good job. Okay, I just never felt like time capsules worked. I feel like in 50 years,
you should do something funny.
Yeah.
When I was in like school, we did a time capsule for ourselves where in 9th grade we got to put something in an envelope that our teacher would give us when we graduated. And I saved this picture of this like Greco-Roman statue of two dudes like jacking each other off. Like they were in like a 69 position, like upside down doing wrestling, but also like jerking each other off. And that's all I got. When I graduated, she handed me an envelope and it was just a picture of those two guys jacking each other off.
That's good though. You were happy.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I've been waiting to see this.
That's good.
I knew this was coming.
I think the move is to not. If you're in a religion, you're probably hoping that religion's going to be around in 150 years. So why would you put the main stuff from your religion?
Good point.
In there?
That's exactly it.
Like,
listen to this one.
The same goddamn stuff in the future.
Listen to this one. Hank Snowday said, "Airplane bottle of Fireball." I think you hit it. I mean, that's what people are up to. In 2022, people are up to Fireball. Airplane bottles of Fireball.
Just a little Fireball.
Yeah. Those plastic airplane bottles of Fireball are, you see them all over the street, everywhere you go. Fireball, I mean, Fireball really took over the world. Like, people would make fun of that shit.
Alcoholism is different now.
Yeah.
Because of Fireball.
I didn't realize it was back.
Oh God!
Oh, it rocks.
It never goes away. Everybody.
The bar, my regular bar I go to, they rock with it.
Yeah, everybody does.
They've got advertisements on the outside at Eldo's.
It's funny because you got to feel bad. You really got to kind of feel bad for the Aftershock company and the Goldschlager company. I know they had a good run, but it's crazy that Fireball took their spot because if you're looking at like.
Old people drink it too, man. Which are hard to convince.
I know. They ain't changing. My father-in-law drinks
their ways.
Loves it. He nips off a bottle all day.
Yeah.
A Fireball.
It's fun. It's like candy. It's like them Red Hots, man.
Yeah. It's like Goldschlager, which I would buy because it had gold in it. We used to think
hot tamales, bro. Give me hot tamales.
Well, true.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Fireball is a good point. I think Fireball is the most popular culinary situation in 2022. Like of all the foods and drinks, it just feels like Fireball is huge.
I agree.
Canadian mist whiskey. Why did our parents have the worst booze?
7 and 7.
I was in Alpena. Okay, I get there. I stop at a liquor store, gas station, and I see a guy buy a fucking fifth of whiskey that I have never heard of in my life off the literal bottom shelf. Like said, it's down there.
Yeah.
Can I get some
lower? It's might be in the basement.
You might have to get a ladder to get it down there. It was called Canadian House or something like that.
no.
It was just something that was
Yeah.
like, and he got a bottle of that and then like a bottle of something else, some vodka I never heard of before
Yeah.
from the bottom shelf, and then 2 12-packs of fucking Bush. And was just like him and his buddy, man. They were just like, let's go
Rocking
fucking
and rolling.
Yeah.
They're Bob Moran right now.
And you know what? To tell the truth about these guys, they probably didn't barf or even have a hangover.
Yeah,
off
you
of
were
that
jealous.
stuff. Yeah, they probably were like, because
Had a
my
great
wife
night.
was always like, you don't want to buy the bottom shelf stuff because messes your head.
I did it yesterday, yeah.
Oh no, what'd you drink?
I had
Those
some
are-
well
those
whiskey.
are some seasoned vets, I think. Yeah.
So yesterday earlier in the day I went and had lunch and I had some Weller, which is the like best. It's the poor man's Pappy Van Winkle. Tom told me that
Weller's okay. I will say.
Weller is so good.
Yeah.
I had Weller
Agree
Foolproof
with
yesterday, and during the day at my lunch, and then I went to the goth night and I said well whiskey, and I took a shot of it, and I had to like sit down and like do breathing exercises to not fucking throw up. But I used to drain like Old Crow and Granddad all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But no more. I have too much of a refined taste for that well shit.
Maybe it was
Definitely can
called.
grow out of it. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it was called Canadian Crow or something like that. It was just a fucking odd name.
It wasn't. Was it like a knockoff Canadian club then? Is that what they were
Yeah.
trying to do?
Yeah,
I
it was
think they were-
Canadian Club. Yeah, it's like there's like Evan Williams, which is like the jump off, the grocery store jump off from like the rest of like Jack Daniels and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. It looks
Black
similar,
Velvet.
Yeah, the label.
Gillabat Black Velvet, I think
Yeah.
is one that my friend's mom used to drink, and also the Tequila Rose stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. My friend's mom will love that shit.
Oh my god! I one time pre-gamed a Halloween with some Tequila Rose with the fucking strawberry milk in it. It was Tequila Sunrise. It was a bottle of Tequila Sunrise, and I fucking gulped it down, and just by the end of the night, I ended up spraying.
Yeah,
It was pretty bad.
Hot Local Al said
I feel like
early
I'm gonna spray
times.
Right now.
One of my dreams was if I could get one endorsement deal, it would be me and Brett as cutouts for early times whiskey.
Yeah,
in
for
a
sure. Easy Jesus.
liquor store. Yeah, just like that, people would see it, like that. You'd walk into a liquor store and be two guys like going like this early times.
Yeah,
you know,
3 thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't,
That's a
and
good
I would
ad.
tell people I
that is a
drink.
good ad. I can see that.
Yeah, that would be sick. That's because you can't advertise cigarettes anymore. So
Yeah.
if you can't advertise
Black and
cigarettes,
Milds or
I'm
anything like
going
that.
I'm going with early time.
Fast break was a good thing.
Yeah.
There's Black and Milds.
Okay, so we cut you off 40 times. What else did you have?
No, I mean it was really just kind of that. I was going to mention. I heard you guys talking pre-show about Lucha.
Yeah. El Nazi.
El Nazi.
Old
Yeah.
El Nazi. Los Ku Klux
I
Klan.
heard that. So I was just in Guadalajara last weekend.
Really?
I just missed the Lucha Libre. Yeah, but they do it on Sundays and Tuesdays there.
Yeah,
Great
CMLL.
city. I'd recommend if you're going to Mexico. That's a good spot.
Yeah, I wanna go there.
Jalisco as well. So
Our buddy Dan's there too. I want to go down. I want to go see a CMLL show really bad down there. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I wanted to, but we were busy that Sunday, unfortunately.
All the wrestling fans are mad at CMLL right now, but not me. I still think they kick ass. But they don't have Policeman
I'm not up on that level, so.
anymore. They used to have a guy named Policeman that was an actual policeman, but he was like older, and he would come out and he didn't even like really wrestle. He would just come out and like kind of be like, I'm the policeman.
Yeah,
and
swing a billy club.
beat him up. Not even swing a billy club. He would
Really?
maybe do like, he knew 2 moves. It was just
Okay.
go in there, policeman shows up, he does 2 moves, he gets out. I mean,
He gets booed.
yeah. Well, sometimes. I think he's a baby face though.
Really?
He was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Bullshit.
that's a different culture down there. They
Sure.
had El Nazi and La Nazi down there, you know? And
Fair.
I was telling Brett before the show, I found out there was a trios team called El Ku Klux Klan or Los Ku Klux Klan. And I was just like, man, they go things
for
are
it.
different down there.
Yeah.
Things are fucking different down there. That's what it is. El Nazi they have a different relationship to World War II than we do.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know how to make sense of it. I mean, people come at me, but yeah, I mean, people fucked around with that in a weird way.
Yeah.
Some other people did.
Well, hey, thanks for calling. Next time you're down there, Try to get yourself in there. You'd love it. CMLL's very
For
fun.
sure. Next trip, I'll definitely try. Yeah. All right, you guys have a good night.
You too.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, last call.
LC.
This morning I took the call, the one that ends it out. Thanks for calling Street Fight.
What's up, guys? It's Bear.
How do you do?
Bear. I got to ask Brett something real quick before we get to you, Bear. I needed to see if you were somebody that understands how things work or what. What did you see this whole like they played Master of Puppets on Stranger Things and people are losing their shit about it.
I love
Like,
it, yeah.
I can't believe they played Master of Puppets on that show. And then some people were arguing like, you know, that he wouldn't have been listening to Master of Puppets. He's not the kind of guy that would be into Master of Puppets.
Because it came out it was the show chronologically took place 9 months after they set the Bay Area on fire.
Yeah.
And they were not like a cultural phenomenon at that point in the show.
And let me explain something to you about that is exactly how fun heavy metal fans are. That is they are exactly that much fun.
Yeah, I want to be an ambassador. I thought it was cool as hell. I liked everybody that wanted to like, yeah, there hasn't been good music made since Metallica did it. Sorry, but there's no been better rock and roll than like Ride the Lightning. Creeping Death is the best you're going to ever get.
Just they heard the song they like in the fucking show. They're watching the show. The fucking favorite band in the world shows up on the show. They can't fucking enjoy it. At all.
They're not, because people aren't doing it right.
Yeah, because they're not doing heavy metal right.
So I was at the pool today, actually, and I overheard people talking about, like, they're like, you know, it's like people getting Nirvana shirts from Target and this or that. And it's like, you like the most boring bands in the world. Yeah. You like Foo Fighters. You like Nirvana. That's not very impressive. It's nothing about liking anything on the radio is that fucking impressive, actually. Yeah, so it should be Walmart shirts for AC/DC and for everything else. And for the rest of it, too, My Chemical Romance and all of it.
Whoa.
Like,
I didn't say that.
It's also hot topic-y at this point in commercial.
Yeah. I mean, classic rock is classic. It's all classic rock.
And our classic,
you don't want
our
it to
stuff,
be classic rock.
Korn is classic rock.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so is all that new metal stuff.
Yeah, it's all classic rock.
Which is fine.
I mean,
but it's not hard. It's not hard to like because it's like so many people liked it and it was very likable at the time and it's still infinitely good music.
Yeah. I don't like Nirvana though, Hank Snow Day, but I think it's cool that you all like them. There are some songs. I like Aneurysm a lot by Nirvana. I actually like when Beavis and Butthead said Nirvana rules, and it's always now every time I hear Nirvana, I have to say Nirvana.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I just think it's
Butthead either.
I don't know. I just think it's weird to have that inclination where you're like 45 years old and some 15-year-old says like Bleach is really good to me and you're like mad you didn't do it right. You don't take that as an opportunity to be like, "Oh, fucking what do you like?" Like, "Yeah, let's get down. Like let's really chop it up about this thing." You take it as some sort of like you didn't do it the right way though.
Yeah, that's how I am with my daughter is like when she was getting into stuff, all I did was say like, "Oh, you might like this because people who like that like
I know
like this."
I know I'm fucked up now because I'm too invested. Like whenever I make music recommendations, I mentioned country a few weeks ago, and people sent me recommendations. And man, folks, you got to do recommendations for the person, not for yourself.
Yes.
You can't say I know about the coolest artist that there is. When someone says they like Rascal Flatts, you need to send them some sort of like George Strait song.
The hip Rascal Flatts.
Yeah. You need to do it. This Florida Georgia Line song is really fucking good. It's called Cruise.
Okay. All right.
But like, yeah, that's the thing. Instead of being like, there's something infinitely cooler.
Yeah. Don't do that. Because I only like uncool stuff. All right, Bear. What's going on this week?
Oh man, nothing. Not a whole lot's actually going on this week. I was gonna just complain about some more Chili's stuff.
Oh, how is Chili's doing? How's Chili's doing? It's been a while.
Well, you know, Chili's is going as Chili's goes. We got rid of a whole bunch of our like combo deal things, and it's pissing off the customers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm hot about that.
It's hard to deliver on that type of promise.
It's just one of those things where, like, man, people that eat at Chili's, like, and I'm not trying to be a fucking prick about this stuff, okay? I'm not philosophically against eating at Chili's at all.
You're not being classist. You're not.
I'm not
judging anybody.
My aunt
I do.
Her
I
favorite
do have a
restaurant.
philosophical counter to eating at Chili's, actually, personally.
Okay.
One of my aunts loves Chili's and gets the same thing every single time she goes. And she goes, I think, at least once a week. And it's like, it's not even like special anymore. It is just like it's Chili's
Tradition.
night. Yeah, it's just Chili's night. It's not even like if something good happened in my life, even though if something good happens in your life, they still go to Chili's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a regular bar now though, and it's like I love having a regular bar now more than anything. Like they're excited to see me when I show up and I know their names and everything, and it feels like a big win for me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise what else is there? Like chasing new experiences all the time isn't the best, but if you can rely on your local Chili's.
Yeah. And I think when they should, I'm going to tell you this, Bear, and I know you're probably going to actually agree with this maybe too. Okay. But Chili's should have to have basically the same menu. Like the menu should be roughly the same all the time. They should not be changing. They shouldn't be changing it. They just shouldn't be fucking changing it.
The thing is, right, like, there's two types of restaurants. There's restaurants for people who like food and want to go try new foods, like the Marietta Diner is like the one that people talk about around here, or like the Appalachian Grill. And then there's restaurants for people who just want to get out of their house for like 20 minutes, and that's Chili's.
To make a turn.
That's the case, you're not giving them anything new. People aren't coming to Chili's like, oh, what's I don't know. We had into some new like steak thing. I forget what it's called, but like no one's coming in wondering like what's a carne asada. Like that's not happening.
Yes.
People are going into Chili's and ordering the same burger they've been ordering for 20 years.
Yeah. Chili's it's so weird that these companies like really do sort of feel like they feel like they have to compete with better restaurants, like local restaurants, but they don't. I mean, why? What's the point? You should do what Chili's does. Chili's is fucking
There's
Chili's.
lots of people who are proud to be there.
Yeah, you should get baby back
You
ribs.
should just go with your base.
Yeah. Serve them.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't. There's a thing that I've been saying for years, which is that if a company would come, like a really big company, would just use the tagline like if McDonald's would just run an ad campaign that just said it's fucking McDonald's and that's it, like that'd be perfect because people know what to expect.
Yeah.
But they have like it's Chili's and that's the whole ad. It's a 5-second ad that you can't skip on YouTube and it just says it's Chili's and it shows the logo and it's done. That's it. Like you know what you're buying already.
It says like real quick, it just comes in and it says like, it's sour cream, it's jalapenos, it's pico, it's beans, it's cheese, it's nachos, it's Chili's.
Yeah, it's baby back ribs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's slow cooked, it's basted, it's roasted, it's Chili's.
Yep. It's just fucking Chili's, dude. McDonald's is just fucking McDonald's.
I really are. We have this thing too where we don't call our customers, we call them guests.
I hate
And I'm
that.
like, people aren't a guest at Chili's. They're not being invited into like a friend's house. They're coming in to spend $12 on a soup and a burger and to go home and like yell at their wife. Like that's all they're here for.
They're the cheapest
Don't sell them
customer
extra.
around. I think they're bottom of the barrel
Oh, yeah.
shoppers, really. Like it's the worst of the worst because they do not want to spend the money to have a good night out and make sure that everyone that provides it like is rewarded, but they still want to be waited on.
Oh yeah, they still want to go out. But
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys all a little secret about Chili's, okay? If you want a terrible fucking job, work as a server or a cook at Chili's. If you want an actually pretty okay job, you should all fucking go work to go, okay? The only place where you're making money is to go because DoorDash has to pay like a minimal tip to go workers. So you'll end up making like $20, $22 an hour coming in high off your ass, barely doing shit because DoorDash has to pay you. Because like those customers aren't tipping you. You're not making money off the family of 5 that's walking in the door. You're making money off other people high off their ass that don't want to leave the house either. Like you're the high person that came in, so you get money.
Yeah. Absolutely fucking true.
That's all to go with the Chili's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean,
if you guys ever want some easy money.
I don't even think like the way I think about that kind of stuff is like I would eat at Chili's the same way I ate at Arby's last week. It was like I got to this town, there was no other food except for chains, and I said, what's going to do the least damage on the tum? And I decided Arby's because a roast beef sandwich, I don't know, I always thought of that as kind of healthier than a burger for some reason.
Sliced, it's not smashed up into a patty.
Thank you. And it's not greased up. You know what I'm saying? It's not on a greasy grill. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. But JB in the chat said Rax. Brother, I loved Rax. And there is still one Rax in Ohio.
On the east side where you grew up, right?
No.
Where's the Rax at?
It's in Lancaster.
Really?
And it's the only Rax left in the country.
Rax.
It's called Rax. It used to be like an Arby's like competitor.
Yeah.
I don't know how many places it was, but yeah, I'd rather Rax, wouldn't you? The hardest I've ever laughed in my fucking life. I was doing LSD. It was like one of the first few times I did LSD. We're in a car with my friends, and I decided I was hungry. I wasn't even really hungry. I ended up not eating any food, but I wouldn't stop talking about eating. And so I was like, fucking dude, just take me to fucking Arby's and I will get food and it'll be fine. And my friend in the front seat turned around and looked at me and said, I'd rather Rax, wouldn't you? And I laughed for like literally, we laughed.
I'm on LSD right now. That's funny as fuck.
We laughed. I couldn't tell you how long we laughed at that.
It's so good. It's perfect execution.
It was right there.
Just cut through the tension, like stop fucking being. Who cares? It's fucking Rax. Who cares?
Yeah.
Don't be so fucking serious.
It was great. It was really fun. I always whenever I did acid, I always decided I was hungry at some point.
Yeah, I guess.
And then, I remember one time I was at this guy's house, this friend of mine, and his parents were there, so we were having to try to be cool, but we were all on acid in the basement. And he was like, "You just be," and I was like, "Dude, I need you to order me Pizza Hut right now, and I'll pay for it." And I'll tell you the truth, I'll pay for all the pizza for your whole family.
Wow!
Just get me a large pepperoni pizza and a ton of breadsticks is what I kept telling him. And he didn't end up doing it, which thankfully. So then I ended up going to the pool hall we hung out at and eating 6 Reese's cups to like satiate that hungry thing. I'm so dumb when it comes to acid because I always get hungry every time. And you're not supposed to do that, you know? Rax. Well, Bear, it's good to hear from you. And
as always,
we're out of here. But it's good to hear from you, Bear, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Oh, hell yeah. I'm sure you will.
All right. Peace out. Cub Scout. It's Cub Scout. You know, Girl Scout, whatever the Scout stuff is.
Some Scouts.
Yeah. All right. We fucking did it.
Great show. That's the call-in show.
It was a good fun time. I'll tell you that.
Fantastic show.
There are 5 racks left in the country. So
we hang on hope.
Let's fucking get some racks. I'm getting some racks. I'm getting racks for dinner.
I want to see double the racks by the end of this week.
But I don't know. How did you think they get the racks food? Like, is there like racks?
There's some sort of food distributor that every day they are like, okay, on Mondays we have to make the racks roast beef. It takes like 4 hours because it's only for
5 stores.
5 stores.
How does that even happen? I don't get it. I don't understand
like
how
easy money. But there's a what's that steakhouse on the west side?
Ryan's.
No. York.
Yes.
Where we have a chain. There's only like less than 4 of them in the country, but York Steakhouse on the west side has like kept rolling and rolling because they just buy it for cheap and resell it, and it works.
Yeah,
there's on the one place that it fucking works.
There's a Ponderosa too in town.
Really?
Let's see how many before we go, I want to see how many Ponderosas there are. I know the people are really amped to hear this. If the Doughboys ever came to town and were like, "Hey guys, what should we review?" I would say Ponderosa. How many? How many ponderosas are left? Oh, dip, there's 75, including 19 in Puerto Rico and a handful scattered in Egypt, Qatar, Taiwan, and the United Arab Emirates.
Well, you know what I did? After Gotham, I went and got fucking hookah, dude. I felt like I was 25 years old again.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's so delicious, dude. It's like it's like vape juice. It's like when you have those steampunk vape juices, but it's like actually real cool burning tobacco, like fucking yourself up, like
It's
not
cool,
in like a computer way.
It's also there. I was always picking up really cool people from those hookah lounges.
Dude, the one I went to, there was a lot. I used to go to so much any like slummy ones, but this one had like amazing ornate furniture and like blankets and tapestries and shit. They were open till 4. I got Karkada, which is like this hibiscus tea that they make. Fucking like bloody red tea out of like hibiscus. It was so fucking good.
There's no booze there though?
No booze. Because it's open. Because we were stuck because we like started rolling at like midnight. So we had to find something to do afterwards. So we hung out at like the shisha for 3 to 4.
Man, when we used to trip, we all worked at a golf course, and we didn't get out of work till like 11. We'd get home. We'd drop acid then, and then we would go to the South High Drive-In.
Yeah.
Flea market, be the first people there when it opens.
Yeah, crack it on.
And just be tripping our fucking nuts off. Like
Smart.
buying, not even really buying anything, just kind of walking around and being like, how much is that? And then my buddy grew up in flea markets. Like,
sure.
And he would try to talk him down no matter what the price was, and then just give up and end up walking away. But yeah, I remember they had these buttons, these pins that said official flea market nut on them.
Uh-huh.
And my buddy was like, hey, how much for these pins? And the guy was like 50 cents. And he was like, I'll give you a quarter. And it just made me laugh harder than anything in the world, because I just couldn't even imagine.
Haggling on 50 cents?
Yeah. And also the other weird thing is the kids I knew that grew up there, they had like a tradition when they went there that they would eat an egg sandwich, because they sell egg sandwiches there.
I like the concessions there. I ate one at the West Side. I couldn't believe they had all that.
Egg sandwiches.
Yes.
It's such a great.
They had breakfast sandwich, fried egg sandwich. It was like on a flat top.
Yeah.
But it was like $2 too. It was
it
was like so straightforward.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's literally just like white bread and egg, but it's $2.
Yeah, because when we got there, they really wanted a hot dog, but all they found out they had egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because they used to sing when we would do acid and go to the fucking place. My buddy would just, like, when it got to be about 3:30 in the morning, which is an hour and a half till the flea market opened, my friend would just start singing flea market hot dog, flea market, and then we would just fucking
get riled up,
ready to move. Everybody's cheering. It's
laser focused on it.
That's all we talk about for the rest of the fucking night. Flea market hot dog. Hey man, those guys had such a profound influence on me, because my parents were like snobs, but their dad, I mean, he's the guy that taught me everything I know about Lonnie's, even though his name was Harry and he was Greek.
Sure.
But he taught me
so much.
Oh my God, he collected birds. Like, I don't even know where he got them, but he had a whole shed.
Real
full of them.
birds?
Yeah, like real actual birds.
Different varieties, like species.
Oh God,
and
yeah,
stuff?
pigeons. He owned pigeons, dude. The guy fucking owned pigeons, and he fed them baby food.
What?
I swear to you, it was the weirdest dude in the world. But he also owned a fucking shitload of porno.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And he kept it outside in a shed.
Not a good
and
idea.
His backyard was so crazy.
The elements will tear that porno up.
Right, but his backyard was like full of stuff. Like you could hide in there like nobody's fucking business. We would go back there and get high and like also smoke cigarettes and look at porno. Just sit back there looking at all of his porno.
Leafing through it. Thumbing through it.
And then fucking being like, I gotta go home and go to the bathroom. And then
taking memories with you.
I gotta go home and take a shit. I remember I said I gotta go home and take a shit, and all my friends started making fun of me saying I was going to jerk off, so I just didn't go.
Yeah, you couldn't be caught jerking off. I mean, that meant you were a fucked up individual.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up.
Do not get caught jerking.
Don't.
Remember, Street Fighters, young folks, do not get caught jerking. If you learn anything from Street Fight. We'll be back on Wednesday night in the studio. So twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. I'll probably be tripping again. So if you want to come hang out, we'll be here. Twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. If you want to get some extra bonus content, you like the show, you like what you hear, what we do Sunday and Wednesday nights, and there's some more that goes on once a week. We got the Patreon bonus show for $5 a month at patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. You get access to all of our bonus material. And like, I mean, even if you're broke as fuck, you can sign up and listen to all the stuff and then like deactivate your subscription at like on the 29th. There's so much just for putting your email address on the line and putting your credit card on the line for Street Fight Radio. Because a lot of people are falling out. You know, it's tough times. We're going into Civil War in a couple years. So, you know, not folks have a lot of money. And we've seen a decline in our subscriptions. So if you've been thinking about it, now's the time to step it up, step it out, share your abundance with Street Fight Radio. We're going to keep spreading this mess across the U.S. All the dissent and all the disruption that we can do is coming to you live on video. So if you want more of that, head to patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. If you want the shirts, head to store.streetfightradio.com. Get the Big Bill Haywood, I got the Marks of Capital All Over My Body t-shirt. It's available right now. Collab with Zach Bath. Fundraiser for anarchists in Germany. And that's all I got for you. I'm Brett. He's Brian. We're Street Fight. We'll see you Wednesday. Peace.